Jody Peterson, New Talk 830 WCCO.
Choose Herbert and Gerbert's when you want fresh ingredients for a perfect sandwich like the Italian Flash or the Turkey Avocado Norma. Funky names are full of flavor. And don't forget our hearty soups and chili. Stop by or order ahead online. HerbertandGerberts.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Herbert and Gerbert's. Fresh ingredients on sandwiches always. And don't forget the soup. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
The smoke will remain parked over us for the next couple of days. The air quality will stink. The alert holding until 5 p.m. on Saturday. That aside, nice weather, partly cloudy, 58 tonight. We'll keep the mix of sun and clouds tomorrow, although it'll look like a cloudy sky with the smoke. 80 the high, matching that on Saturday. We'll stay dry right through the weekend.
Stupid smoke, 76 degrees at News Talk 830 WCCO.
We cover the headlines, break down the hot takes, and let you have a voice. News Talk 830 WCCO. You're thinking about it. Jason's talking about it. There are no breaks on bold takes here. Buckle up. This is Drive Time with DeRUSHA. Now, live from Minnesota's biggest microphone, here's Jason DeRUSHA.
Well, how about that? How about that? I don't know if I agree with what Dan Hayes just said, which is, wow, a stunner. Because we were getting hints over the last couple of days that Carlos Correa, the biggest star, perhaps, for the Minnesota Twins is gone. You have seen, assuming this ESPN report is correct, you have seen the last of Carlos Correa in a Minnesota Twins uniform. Sort of staggering. We knew that the Twins were going to sell. We knew that all of the players who were going to be free agents after this season, that the Twins would try to get what they could instead of getting nothing at the end of the season. But this is, to me, by current management, a big swing in saying we got to tear this sucker down.
And I think that's where, Dan's coming from when he talks about this being a shocker, right? Is that I think people saw the free agent players, that level of trading going on. Nobody was going to be surprised by that. The Yohan Duran trade last night was, beyond a free agent. Obviously, they still had him for 2 more years. So that was maybe slightly surprising, but to go to this level, now obviously we don't know the parameters yet. It's Jeff Passan from ESPN and then Ken Rosenthal from The Athletic have both confirmed this trade at this point. Those are 2 pretty darn reliable sources. So I'd say it's a done deal. The question is going to be, there's 2 questions. A, how much money are the Astros picking up from this contract versus how much are the Twins going to have to eat? And B, what else is going on here? Or what prospect is Houston sending to Minnesota? Is Minnesota sending anybody else along with Castro? The rumors the other day were that the Astros wanted to pay half of Carlos's contract and get a bat from the Twins. So as the parameters come out here, and they should be out, hopefully within the next hour or so, it'll be very interesting to see what exactly is going on here.
Carlos Correa in the 3rd year of a contract. And when the Twins signed him again, I think as a fan, it felt like, all right, we're taking a swing. The rip that the poll ads and the ownership wasn't willing to spend money. Well, Carlos Correa is in the middle of a 6-year deal that guarantees him $96 million. This year, he's making more than $33 million a year. That was a sign, I think, to a lot of fans that, all right, we're playing ball. We're in business. Your reaction is welcome. It's 651-461-9226. 651-461-9226. The Carlos Correa era is, if you believe ESPN and The Athletic, which I do, is over. Now, you look at Correa and you say, this year notwithstanding, in my opinion, unloading a deal where he was going to make let's see, if he's making 33 this year, he's making, I don't know exactly.
They owed him like something on the order of 92 million left on his contract.
So that's a lot of money left to pay. Next year, you look at this Twins team and you say, well, I don't think we're not making a deep playoff run next year with this lineup. So do you want to spend that kind of money on a player that's not going to really, and frankly, he's underperformed this year. I think there's no question about that. Where you say his bat has been a challenge. I think his defense has been incredible. As a leader, he's been incredible for the team. He had no trade clause, but he had told friends that he was willing to waive that. He still had a house in Houston. And so Correa's salary is about a quarter of the Twins' payroll. So that is gone. The question, I think, as a fan is this just a salary dump, or are they getting something in return? And as Dan correctly points out, like what do the Twins have to pay? 651-461-9226. It's all too good. It's all good, says one texter. We pay him way too much money for what he does. We could get several other guys. He's headed home back to Texas. Good for him. I will say that to me, when Carlos first joined the Twins, knowing, he has a foundation in Texas, knowing his reputation and his wife's reputation for community involvement, maybe I expected a little more of that from him. I don't know that, even though Carlos was the face of the team, I don't know, Dan, to you, did he ever, I think in our interactions, he was always a great interview.
Yeah.
You could tell in the clubhouse, he certainly is a leader.
Yes.
As
absolutely.
far as stepping out into the wider community as a leader, I don't know that you've ever really felt like the Correa impact. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know that I have, but then again, I don't know that I can think of any Minnesota Twins player that leaps off the page at me in
right
that regard.
now. Yeah, not really. I just wonder what the fans' reaction will be.
Yeah.
Where, like, did people connect with Correa as much as you would expect them to connect with a $33 million a year?
I don't think so. And I think a lot of that, I think the texter sort of nailed it. His performance hasn't been up to par for his contract. Now, contracts aren't, especially in baseball, contracts are more about what you've done than what you do going forward.
But he didn't do it for us.
But he didn't do it for us. And, so I think, especially when you've got Brooks Lee on this roster, who's going to slot in as the starting shortstop, one would assume.
Yeah.
I think, this was a case where they were clearly trying to shed salary. That was the Paddock deal to Detroit. When Randy Dobnak got thrown in on that deal, that should have been a big flag for everybody to say they're trying to get rid of salary as much as they can. This is just the furtherance of that desire. Now, Bob Nightingale, who I believe writes for USA Today, his son Bobby writes for the Star Tribune and covers the Twins. But Bob has tweeted that the Twins didn't eat the $50 million, which was what was reported that Houston had asked for, that they didn't eat that much of the contract, but still a significant amount with other major league players involved in this mega deal. So there's still news to come here in terms of what exactly the parameters of this deal are.
The Twins are in a lot of trouble. You look at, from the fan base, the frustration over the ownership, which, we've talked about before. I don't blame the poll ads to the degree that I think a lot of fans have this idea that if the poll ads would just spend $30 million more, all our problems would be solved. I don't see that. I do understand why the fan base says, look, we had a window where we won a playoff game, and then instead of jumping on it, we retreated. And I think the poll ads have been punished for a season and a half now for that. I will say that you look at some of the pieces that the Twins had, and we started this season, Dan, talking about potentially the best bullpen in the game. We had a healthy Byron Buxton, who has been the a true MVP caliber season for him.
Yeah.
Although being an MVP on a clunker
generally doesn't happen. Yeah.
Doesn't usually happen. But his performance has been amazing.
Yes. No, he's been the best year of his career without question.
Royce Lewis has struggled.
For sure. Correa struggled. You can talk about the injuries, obviously to Pablo, but to the pitching staff as a whole. Remember, the starting pitchers were supposed to be one of the core strengths of this team, and that hasn't materialized. At least not to. They haven't been terrible individually, performance-wise, outside of maybe Bailey Ober, but injuries and then some up and downs has certainly hurt that perception.
Does this make you out on going to Target Field for the rest of the season? 651-461-9226. Carlos Correa. Multiple media reports within the last 20 minutes saying Carlos is gone. Does this change your view on this team, or does it give you optimism that the leadership knows this isn't working? And ultimately, this combination of players, it's a no-go. It's just not working for the Minnesota Twins. And you look at all the players that have been traded. Chris Paddock, Harrison Bader, Brock Stewart, none of those a huge surprise. But then when you trade your closer, Yohan Duran, who is one of the best in the game, I don't think it's unreasonable for management to say, close what? What do we need him to close for? Because we're not in these games anyway. Sonny on YouTube saying, praise the Lord, Correa was a bust. Where are you on all this? 651-461-9226. Drive Time back with breaking news. Carlos Correa traded back to his hometown Houston Astros here on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSHA. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Everyone who's ever sold a home asks themselves two questions during the process. How long will it take, and will it sell for enough money? This is Vanita. There's a lot of stress that can come with home selling because with the wrong real estate agent, there's a lot of uncertainty. With the right one, you can feel confident, and you will feel confident when you contact my friend, John Schuster of the John Schuster Group Coldwell Banker Realty. Rick and Nancy had their minds at ease after selling their lakefront home in the Twin Cities. They hired a different real estate agent before John. Things didn't go according to plan. The house sat on the market for over a year with no success. You know how long it took John to sell it with his marketing? 11 days. He reaches buyers and you make money. Contact John for full details. 952-222-9000. Online, johnschustergroup.com.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. johnschustergroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
At Wealth Enhancement, we believe wealth is in the details. Our team of trusted advisors craft personalized solutions to help you achieve your financial goals. Tune in to the Your Money Show on News Talk 830 WCCO every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. or go to wealthenhancement.com to connect with one of our advisors.
This is Greg Truzinski of the Original Mattress Factory. Recently, the owner of a large mattress retailer was proudly sharing how over 65% of their queen mattress prices are $15.99 or higher. At the Original Mattress Factory, our focus is a little bit different. We build superior quality mattresses right here in town and do our best to save you as much money as possible. That's why at OMF, nearly 80% of our queen mattresses are lower than those prices others brag about. Stop in or check out originalmattress.com to learn more.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Jason DeRUSHA.
I like it fast. I like it.
You like it to clip along.
Like, let it rip.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Me and Jen and crew were hump out in a small town.
We're just trying to keep on top of all of the trades because just during a break, we had another one. Minnesota Twins making moves. I'm a little depressed by it. I got to be honest. Whereas a fan, you say like, what are we going to Target Field to watch? Also, we're the home of the Twins. I would like people to listen to the Twins games on CCO. I think people will be curious about what the future is. What are we getting? But Carlos Correa, gone. Danny Coulomb, left-hand pitcher. He's going to the Texas Rangers. So now he's gone too. That's another ESPN report. So that's what, 4 trades today, Dan?
Yes.
So yesterday was the Duran news.
Right.
And then today it's been Paddock, Bader, Stewart. No,
Paddock was 2 days ago.
Paddock was 2 days ago.
Yep.
But Bader, Stewart, Coulomb,
and Correa.
And Carlos Correa. Ooh. Let's go to David in Stillwater at 651-461-9226. David, you know, this is a fire sale. It's pretty much clear them out here. What's your reaction?
Boy, I think the Twins have had plenty of talent to work with, and I think it's time to question Rocco Baldelli. You don't fade at the end of the season like they did last year without having a problem at the top. And I really just believe that they've had plenty of talent, great young talent. Rocco Baldelli thinks he's a pitching coach and a coach, and he doesn't, he's terrible at handling pitching. It's time to talk about getting rid of the elephant in the room. It's time to get Rocco gone. Sorry to say that, but I'm not watching the Twins anymore until they sell the team anyway. But basically, Rocco is he's a big part of the problem.
Yeah, it's when you see this much movement, I guess I don't know what to read into it. Where does this make you say, boy, they are serious about burning the house down, knowing that they have to do something? We are waiting for new management. I would assume or new ownership. I would assume new ownership would want their own manager. Do you think it makes sense at this point to make a move to fire Rocco right now?
I do. I really do. I think they should have done it when they really started to fade again. Last year was just a catastrophe. They were doing pretty well, and then boom, fell right off the cliff. And a manager should be able to make a difference on that. Can you imagine Dusty Baker letting that happen? That would have never happened.
Yeah. I get it, David. Thank you. Thanks for calling in. Texters say, I agree, Rocco has got to go. Another texter saying, diehard Twins fan, I'm sick of hearing about this garage sale we're having today. I will not go to another game this year. Another texter, I love Carlos Correa, so I will miss him. It's a little overwhelming. You think about Minnesota Twins history and you think about a trade deadline. Frankly, you think about any Minnesota team. Have we ever had a Minnesota sports team mid-season that has made this sort of an aggressive move? And this is not an aggressive move. What sucks as a fan is this is not an aggressive move designed to improve the team. This is an aggressive move that is sort of a confession that it's over for this season.
It's an aggressive move designed to shed payroll, one would hope, in a effort to reset this roster. I think there's been some serious conversations going on over at One Twins Way over the last few weeks about the nature of this roster. I appreciate what David said about the talent on this team. I think that's maybe been overrated a little bit.
Well, I think clearly because the talent didn't perform. Right?
Not at all. And, I understand that fans want to put that on the manager. I totally get that sentiment. Again, I think that's a misunderstanding of how, managers and front offices are wired together these days. You could certainly call when he says, it starts at the top. Well, the top is Derek Falvey. And so if you want to question the way that this organization's been run, both on the field and in the front office, it has to start with that office. It just does. So you can replace Rocco. If you expect that to dramatically change results, I think, you're missing the bigger picture here. That if there's going to be job changes to try and change what's going on with this club, it's kind of got to start at the top and then come down from there.
Texter saying, Jason, there's zero chance that Rocco's going anywhere until at least the new owners take over. Same with Falvey and Zoll, as the new regime would be the ones to reshuffle the front office.
I think that's a very sensible take. Yes.
Another texter saying, I think it's time to talk salary caps in baseball.
Well, it's that discussion is going to be happening.
It is.
I think fans dramatically overrate the impact that's going to have on a club like the Twins, because there isn't the national revenue. The reason it works in the NFL so well is because all of their television revenue is national and shared, and it's through the roof.
Right.
Baseball doesn't have that. So all the salary cap's going to do is put more money in the pockets of the owners, which is why they're the ones pushing for it. So if you want to make billionaires richer, by all means, push for a salary cap.
How do you feel right now if you're Byron Buxton, where you are on a team where you just were in the All-Star game?
Mm-hmm.
You just made a big deal about saying, like, Minnesota's my home. I want to be here forever. I don't want to leave. Does that change when you see Correa out the door? I think Correa is the biggest one, right? Duran you can reason through that in many different ways. You can say a team that sucks doesn't need an incredible closer.
Right.
You can say big time 102, 103 mile an hour hurlers have a propensity to get hurt. So let's get some value out of that. You can reason through that.
Yeah. Bullpen pitchers and historically are very,
the Correa thing, I think it's tough where you're like, if you're Byron Buxton, I just wonder what's going through his head right now. And do you call the team and say, like, well, if you can get something good for me, I want to go play for a winner too?
I mean, I would certainly think he'd be frustrated, right? And I think anybody left on this roster is frustrated in the sense that, they looked around at each other in when we were down there in spring training and thought this very well can be a playoff caliber team, and they didn't perform to that level.
Yeah.
And that's why this is happening. So, I'm sure he's frustrated. Does he want to pull the trigger and go someplace else? He does have the full no trade clause, so he could control to a degree where he goes.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if he gets to that level, but I mean, a certain level of frustration is, I think, only human.
Ultimately, I look at this team and I say, my frustration is more with the players than it is with Rocco. I think you look at the interest in all of these players. Other contenders wanted all of these players.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are still a number of Twins players over the next hour and a half that could be dealt. It's a long list. Willie Castro, Ty France, Christian Vasquez.
Those are all free agents.
Joe Ryan, Pablo Lopez, Griffin Jackson. I mean, there's a lot of names if we're selling.
Yeah. I mean, Willie Castro is somebody I think a lot of people think will be moved. I think it's going to be difficult to get a lot of interest in terms of a Ty France or a Christian Vasquez.
Yeah.
And again, with Joe Ryan, you would say the same thing that you were saying about Duran a few days ago is you got to have a pretty darn big offer to move him. But they moved Duran. So
they moved Duran.
He
got a good, maybe not big. We'll get Michael Rand's take on that at 5:00.
Yeah. I mean, they got a solid return for Duran. It's not a spectacular one, but it's solid.
All right, you're home of the Twins. We're going to keep you updated as we learn things. The trade count is at, I count 6. Some of you count Randy Dobnak. He was at AAA when he was traded, so he's not on my big board. But
I don't think he's even on the 40-man roster. So
yeah,
so
like
technically he's a player that we sent out.
But
so,
yes, that's true. So that's where we're at. The big headline: Carlos Correa and his giant salary, at least part of it, traded away. You will not go to a Twins game and see Carlos Correa in a Twins uniform again. 3:32. I want to talk Minneapolis politics, and there are Democrats around the state who are concerned about the rise of socialists in the city of Minneapolis. I'm going to ask one of them, what do they care what the city of Minneapolis does when we come back?
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSHA on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Livia days are in effect, and I want you to save some big money and have the chance to change your life. It's Jason here for my friends at Livia Weight Control Centers. You know that Livia has absolutely changed my life. Lost 45 pounds with the help of Livia, and I've kept all that weight off for 2.5 years now. I started in the summer, and now is a great time for you to start as well, because Livia days have the best offers of the year. You're going to buy 2 months of same-day medical weight loss injections, those GLP-1 weight loss medication that so many of you have had great success with. Buy 2 months, get the third free. If you join Livia right now during Livia days, which will not last forever, but if you join now, you get 50% off Livia's summer nutrition program. Livia's done it again, 5 years in a row, winning the gold, Minnesota's best weight loss center, but 15 years of trusted success. Livia's got a plan that will work with your lifestyle, and they've got the support to get you over the finish line. It is your summer. No sacrifices, just results with Livia. You got to act fast, though. These offers are not going to last. So get to Livia.com, Livea.com, or make a call, 855-GO-LIVIA.
Caught in traffic? Get caught up on the game. You're stuck on 494, but your heart's racing like you're behind home plate. You can't see the swing, but you know it's gone.
He swings and drives deep to left field. Second home run of the day for Byron Buxton.
That's the magic of baseball on the radio.
Ground ball, hard hit, dive, stopped by Clemens. Again from his knees, retires Tavares.
Here, we don't just call the game. We drop you right into it.
High and deep to left. This one carrying to the bullpen. Ty France walks off the Royals.
Twins baseball on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Advantage Seamless Gutters is now Advantage Home Pros. New look, same pros. Still locally owned and now taking care of all your gutter and roofing needs. Don't spend your weekends on a ladder cleaning your gutters when you could be spending time with family and planning that summer trip. Trust your local gutter pros, Advantage Home Pros. Now your local custom roofing pros. With the highest quality workmanship and materials, our trained, knowledgeable local pros can handle it all. Trust the pros. AdvantageHomePros.com.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius or two have geniuses and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
It's Chris Lindahl. Have you noticed that you're seeing even more of me lately? That's because everyone is finding out that the fastest way to a fresh start in life is to say yes to a guaranteed cash offer on your house. Get yours now at chrislindahl.com.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, Call 800-355-8282. That's 800-355-8282. Again, that's 800-355-8282.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Stalled bus, North 494, Bass Lake Road off to the right side. Things are slow as you come up from Rockford Road. Traveling 394 eastbound. Got a multi-car wreck working at Penn Avenue off to the right side. Traffic is already a bit tight as you come in from Penn Avenue, or rather the area of Park Place Boulevard. North 169, watching slow stuff there. Excelsior to 63rd. 694 westbound, jammed up from 35W to 252. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
If you have trees to trim or need tree removal, call an ISA certified arborist. Call the CCO Land Company I use. B&M Tree Service, 1-800-569-9034. Or get on the web, bnmtree.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
CCO forecast brought to you by B&M Tree Service. Here is Chris Schaefer.
Can't really call it a blue sky because of the smoke in the air. That air quality alert still in effect until 5 p.m. on Saturday. Partly cloudy, cooling back to 58 tonight. A high of 80 tomorrow with a partly cloudy sky. We stay dry right through the weekend. Those highs should be right around 80, maybe some sprinkles next Monday.
Smoky, but pleasant otherwise. 77 here on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSHA. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, we'll continue covering the breaking news that Carlos Correa traded by the Minnesota Twins back to the Houston Astros. We don't know the details, what we got in return, but big news this afternoon, just breaking over the last 40 minutes or so. So we'll keep updating you as there is. We still got 81 minutes to go until the trade deadline, and we'll see if the Minnesota Twins make some more moves. I want to talk about a move in Minneapolis where we have seen Democratic Socialists on the rise. The city of Minneapolis, DFL, at their convention endorsed Omar Fateh, who is a socialist. It has been a part of the party, especially in the urban area, that has gained strength through city council members. There are a couple of Duluth DSA members who have been elected, the city council elected up there. But some around the state are concerned that this move is going to brand Democrats as far left and out of touch. And one of those raising concerns is Ryan Winkler, who is with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker hotline right now. Ryan, first, I'm sorry about Carlos Correa. I know you're broken up.
We just need to see some winning teams. So whatever they have to do to make that possible, I'm for.
Yeah, that would be nice for sure. So look, you've run for Hennepin County Attorney unsuccessfully in the DFL party. You were a House Majority Leader for quite a while. You're a suburbanite in Golden Valley. Why are you worried about what the city of Minneapolis does or doesn't do with who they pick to be the mayor?
First and foremost, what happens in Minneapolis is important for the whole state. From economic, cultural, sports, you name it. Minneapolis is our principal commercial city, and the health and vitality of Minneapolis is important for everyone. We don't all get to vote for the city leaders, of course, as it should be, but it matters, and we all have a stake in it.
What is your concern when you see sort of the leftward move and the potential, if Minneapolis votes the way that the DFL convention endorsed, which who knows what actual voters, when they show up, what they're going to do?
Yeah. Or did the convention vote that way? That's a little bit unclear at this point. But, I was asked by the Star Tribune if the Democratic Socialists of America would help win back seats in rural Minnesota. And my answer is no, it won't help. Based on some of the I've been looking at the Democratic Socialists of America.
Ryan, I don't want to cut you off, but your phone is breaking up a little bit. So maybe we're just going to call you right back. So let's hang up on Ryan Winkler and we'll call him back because I want to hear what he has to say. Because this is, it is a reality with what is going on in New York. And we know Republicans are always going to accuse Democrats of being socialists. Republicans accuse Tim Walz of being a socialist. So is it worse to accuse a real socialist of being a socialist? I don't know. Ryan's back with us. Ryan, hopefully we have a better phone connection. But why don't you pick it up with what your concern would be as far as the overall brand of Democrats throughout Minnesota? Do you think that, if the city of Minneapolis elects a socialist as mayor, does that really affect the way people would consider a candidate in Golden Valley or Maple Grove or Duluth or wherever?
I think it all depends. The picture of 7 city council members sitting on a stage with the defund the police banner certainly was used in races, not just around Minnesota, but in campaigns around the country to show Democrats as out of touch with the concerns of most voters. And so just because a person had a DSA endorsement by itself doesn't mean that will be a problem, but it depends on how they actually run the city and what kind of choices they make. The DSA platform calls for abolishing the police, abolishing prisons, for collectivizing all of the largest industries in the country. I mean, these are things that are pretty far out there. And, I don't know that Senator Fate would necessarily try to do all of those things. But if they took the DSA platform seriously, yes, and that was associated with the Democratic Party, that would be a problem.
I do wonder, we've already seen this sort of separation in the DFL party where the Iron Range, for example, used to be a reliable DFL part of the state and farmers were voting DFL. And over I don't know if it's been over the last 10 years, you've seen city residents being more identified with what Democrats are about. It's more of an urban party versus a party that is really making any progress in greater Minnesota. Democrats have made a ton of progress in your neck of the woods and in my neck of the woods in Maple Grove, like out in the inner and second ring suburbs. Democrats, those areas are largely Democrat now, certainly not as Republican as they were 20 years ago when I first moved here. So I guess, does it really matter if, it seems like people in the suburbs, I guess that's the ultimate question. Will the suburbs be turned off by a socialist turn?
They may be. I mean, and it's an important question, but at a deeper level, why have Democrats been unable to win over voters who don't have a college degree, which used to be the whole purpose and mission of the Democratic Party, was to help people who didn't have the advantages of everyone else in the society get a better shot at opportunity and a better life. Well, in the last election, Donald Trump won voters making less than $100,000 a year. That, to me, is a sign that the Democratic Party has lost its way more than anything else. We've lost focus on taking care of the economic opportunity of people who need the help of the government and have shifted to a focus on cultural elite type issues that I don't think are ever going to win us votes in rural places. And so if you look at things like the DSA or, the leftward turn of people in Minneapolis and St. Paul, that won't help unless they are focused back on economic and cost of living issues, the kind of things that really motivate voters to ask the government to do something more.
Ryan Winkler is our guest, former House Majority Leader. Ryan, don't you think some of the party's problems, some of the problems that the Democrats have, is that they haven't been talking enough about affordability, about the cost of living, about, rent and housing being out of reach for first-time homeowners. And the DSA is talking about this stuff. So don't the Democrats need to look at sort of the inroads that socialists are making and say, all right, well, why are they making inroads, and what are we not doing?
Sure. If we can talk about issues that do affect people's lives directly, like we actually saw from Mamdani in New York, and maybe we could see from Fateh in Minneapolis about the cost of housing, affordable health care, quality of schools that our children are going to, that's great. But if that means abandoning a conversation about public safety, for example, because they want to focus on police and prison abolition, then that will take us the wrong direction. So
have they been pushing the defund as much? I feel like I don't know if that's a rebrand, but I haven't been hearing that as much from Democratic Socialists or any elected officials lately.
I think you will find that the candidates for high-profile offices aren't talking about that very much. But if you look at the rank and file, if you're paying attention to what they're saying on social media and what the platform of the DSA says, it's all still there. The motivations are all still there. So I do think it's a choice for Democrats to focus in on practical cost of living issues, economic opportunity, creating a world in which the bottom half of the population actually has opportunity and hope for a better future for themselves and their kids. That's kind of been missing from the Democratic Party in certain ways. If we all focus on that, then I don't see an issue with making common cause with people who, I might not agree with all the issues on, but we definitely agree on the need to address the basic economic security and opportunity for half the states and half the nation's people.
Ryan Winkler, we appreciate the time. It'll be an interesting decision as Minneapolis votes and which way they go with this. And we thank you for being with us today. Thanks, Ryan.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
All right. 3:49. Back in just a minute. Lots of trade action happening. Has anyone been traded in the last couple minutes? We'll find out and tell you right here on CCO.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSHA on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Ah, that first sip of coffee on a summer morning, sunshine, caffeine. What's better? How about water so good it makes your coffee jealous? Water from Aquarius, your authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Dave Lee for Aquarius. Enjoy sparkling dishes, soft, fluffy laundry, and worry-free water from every faucet, likely for less than your daily iced coffee. Enjoy up to 25% off a new Connecticut system and schedule your free water analysis at AquariusHomeservices.com. Aquarius, earning the right to be recommended.
Thielen Meats of Piers is where tradition meets taste.
Family grown, employee owned. We've mastered the art of meat.
That's why we're the #1 meat market in Minnesota.
And we're located right here in Piers.
Check out our mouthwatering selection at thielenmeats.com.
Better yet, stop in and see for yourself. We're serving up love one cut at a time.
Thielen Meats, from our family to your feast.
No meal's complete without Thielen Meats
of Piers.
Construction problems come with challenges, but legal issues shouldn't be one of them. At Helmuth & Johnson, we focus on construction law, protecting contractors, developers, and business owners from costly disputes. From contract negotiations to litigation and compliance, we make sure your projects stay on track and your interests stay protected. Whether it's a delay, a dispute, or a deal, we've got you covered. Visit hjlawfirm.com. That's hjlawfirm.com. Helmuth & Johnson, on your side, at your side.
Chad back here with you. At some point 5-6 years ago, I was sick of my lack of flexibility. No, not on air. We know I'm not that flexible on air, but I was sick of waking up and I had some pain. I had some soreness. I wanted more mobility. And I kept driving by Stretch Lab in Plymouth and finally went in. Changed me dramatically. We know I'm obsessed with golf. Has it helped my golf? Absolutely. They'll work with anyone, any age, and I guarantee you, after your first stretch, you will feel better. They have great specialists at stretchlab.com. And to bring you in, and by the way, they have 11, that's right, 11 convenient locations. They'll give you half off your introductory stretch. When you go once, you'll start going on a regular basis. When you reach out at stretchlab.com, let them know you heard it from Chad here on CCO.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well,
I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Full bus right side, 494 northbound, midway toward Bass Lake Road. The slowdowns begin back at Rockford Road. You're also going to find it to be slow north front 94, Highway 7 to County Road 6. 94 westbound, jammed up into Minneapolis, has moved past Huron Boulevard. 35E northbound, you're going to find actually both directions from 35E, seeing slowdowns between Wheelock Parkway and 994. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Go online before you go outside. HilltopCamper.com has what you need. We're here for new and used. We're here for service. We're here for the outdoors. Above all, HilltopCamper.com is here to help you and your loved ones make memories. HilltopCamper.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, forecast brought to you by Hilltop Camper and RV. Air quality alert until the end of time. Expect spooky skies and unhealthy air until 5 p.m. Saturday. Tonight, the low is 58. Tomorrow, 80. Saturday, 80. Dry, low humidity, just smoky. It was beautiful when I was out on the patio last night. Big patio party. Saw my friend Elizabeth. Saw my friend Andrea. All sorts of great people out on that hidden gem of a patio at the Minneapolis Club. It's open to the public. You can make a reservation. You can go have dinner there tonight. You might want to stay inside if you're sensitive to the air, that's for sure. 354 on CCO.
Broadcasting from the Flatibo Land Studios, this is News Talk 830 WCCO. If you're looking to buy or sell farmland, you need Flatibo Land. For the latest auctions, listings, appraisals, and consulting, visit flatiboland.com.
It's the Minnesota Twins mid-season moving sale. That's right, folks. They're clearing out the clubhouse faster than a thunderstorm clears the fairgrounds. Lockdown closer, gone. Most versatile glove in the outfield. See you later. Other fan favorites, don't get comfortable. No offer refused. No prospect too obscure. If you've got an ERA below the blood alcohol limit along with a couple of vowels in your name, we'll take ya. It's chaos. It's confusion. It's kind of a rebuild, but somehow still competitive. So come on down to Target Field, the only place in town where the starting lineup needs a "Hi, my name is" sticker on their jersey. Wait, who's that guy again? The Minnesota Twins. Get to know them again. Now accepting trade proposals, moral support, and a couple decent middle relievers.
Oh, man. It's a rough day to be a Twins fan, for sure. Nice work by Brad Lane and our creative team. Skip putting that together. Maybe more names to add to the list. We've got another hour to go. Our friend Dan Hayes, just posting on X, said one Minnesota Twins player, quote, "Now no one wants to stay if they are selling like this." The list of trades that have happened today is sort of eye-popping, to be honest. Carlos Correa, three-time All-Star shortstop, probably the biggest swing that the team made in acquiring him the first time and then getting him again. $96 million guaranteed over the next 2 seasons. We don't know how much money the Twins will eat or what they're getting in return, but as Pat Borzing said, replying to my post on X, this isn't a sell-off, it's an estate sale. The body will be lying in state before a smattering of mourners the rest of the season at Target Field. I think that's the hard part. But at a certain point, you have to decide, like, are we just going to have this underperforming team, or do we blow it up and rebuild it? And you cannot rebuild when you're spending a quarter of your payroll on one guy, unless you're willing to enlarge the payroll. The rub. That is the rub. We'll keep following it. One more hour to go. Lots of names on the board, so we will see. Do you think we are being gaslit on construction? We'll talk about that after the latest news here on CC.
Imagine placing an investment or trade without fear. Knowing that big institutions have taken the same trade as you, pushing the price higher, which only they can do. You get to ride the wave of institutional demand. If not, your plan will protect you from the downside. This is how our students are taught to invest in trade. Right now, you can sign up for a free investing class where we'll outline our strategy for following the smart money. Text investing to 210-210. We'll also review strategies for growing a retirement portfolio, how professionals profit when stocks are falling, and how to protect your investments against inflation. With a 25-year history, local classrooms, and one-on-one support, you're not alone. And now it's your turn. Sign up for a free investing class today. Text investing to 210-210 or go to learnwithota.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
If something happens to you, what happens to your family? Will they struggle financially? Will they be able to afford the home you built together? With Ethos, you can get life insurance coverage in minutes. Get up to $2 million in coverage for as little as $2 a day. All online with no medical exam. Just answer a few health questions. Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life. Rates may vary. Billed monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Hosts that get it. Shows that get you. News Talk 830 WCCO 1029 HD2 Minneapolis, St. Paul. Always streaming on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. After extreme heat, much of the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic are being pounded by severe storms. Meteorologist David Parkinson.
We could be seeing 4 or 5 inch per hour rainfall rates, and the total rain out of this storm in some areas could be 6 or even 8 inches of rain.
Bill Kelly is a meteorologist in Philadelphia, where there were tornado warnings.
If you are under this warning, your phone probably went off. You probably got the audible alert. You want to get into the lowest level of your house, get as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And also just make sure you separate yourself from any windows.
Texas lawmakers looking into the deadly flooding of July 4th held a hearing today during which the Kerr County Emergency Management Director admitted sleeping through the lead up to the crisis. He said he was on sick leave.
I stayed in bed throughout July the 3rd and did not participate in the regularly scheduled 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. Texas Emergency Management Coordination Center coordination calls.
Residents and others testified that no one came to help them even hours after the floodwaters receded. They said their 9/11 calls went unanswered. President Trump is dispatching his Mideast envoy to Gaza along with the U.S. ambassador to Israel. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
The special envoy and the ambassador will brief the president immediately after their visit to approve a final plan for food and aid distribution into the region.
The deadline for making a trade deal with President Trump is midnight tonight. CBS's Jill Schlesinger says most countries will likely find themselves with a 15% tariff rate.
If this really holds across all of these trading partners, this would be the highest tariff rate since the 1930s. So it is still significant. Hasn't really worked its way into the economy just yet.
Authorities in Arkansas say the suspect in the stabbing deaths of a mother and father on a hiking trail has been charged. They're still trying to determine a motive. Mike Hager of the state police.
We do believe he acted alone. We have absolutely no reason to believe that there's anyone else involved, and we do not anticipate any future arrest or any other arrest beyond this suspect.
Authorities say it appears to have been a random encounter. The couple were hiking with their young daughters who were unharmed. The suspect is a 28-year-old teacher. Authorities are searching for a man wanted in the deaths of 4 people in a remote area of northwest Tennessee. An infant belonging to 2 of those killed was found in a front yard as much as 30 miles away. On Wall Street today, investors were following all the latest tariffs news as well as some earnings reports. The Dow Jones Industrials finished off 330 points. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit Progressive.com.
Minnesota's trusted voice. Every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Smoky skies, 76 degrees at 4:03. I'm Laura Oakes, and the Carlos Correa era appears to be over in Minnesota. Multiple reports indicating Correa is being traded back to Houston, where he started his career. It's not yet clear who the Minnesota Twins will be getting in return or how much of Correa's large contract the Twins will still pay. Also this afternoon, relief pitcher Danny Coulombe has been traded to Texas, according to ESPN. Outfielder Harrison Bader is headed to the Philadelphia Phillies for 2 prospects, and pitcher Brock Stewart is headed to the LA Dodgers. The Twins have now made 6 trades involving 7 players ahead of the 5 p.m. MLB trade deadline. The National Weather Service in the Twin Cities says some of the densest smoke during this stretch of bad air is possible tomorrow morning. Today, the air is already considered unhealthy for everyone, and many folks are back to wearing those N95 masks, including Julie and Bill Thomas from Indiana, who are vacationing in the Twin Cities.
There's a lot of particulate matter in the air, so we made the choice to wear a filter.
Yeah, because we're on vacation, we wanted to do a lot of walking. And we were interested in walking down to the Walker Art Center. We knew it was going to be a 45-minute walk, and we didn't want to be breathing bad air the entire time as we're huffing and puffing down the road. Yeah.
Our air quality alert is expected to remain in effect through late Saturday afternoon. St. Paul police asking for the public's help after the statue of Olympic gymnast Suni Lee was stolen from Lake Phelan. They say it was taken within the last day and are actively working to find it. Anyone with information is asked to contact St. Paul police. A 29-year-old Minneapolis man is charged with assault for allegedly dropping a large rock from a freeway overpass, injuring 2 people in a car below. Willie Lassiter Jr. is already in a St. Cloud Correctional Facility for a drunk driving conviction. He's accused of dropping the rock from a Highway 36 overpass in St. Paul on May 29th. A woman needed surgery to her arm, and a man in the car suffered cuts to his arm and face. Lassiter has an extensive criminal history. An alarming trend when it comes to gun violence in Minnesota.
Gun violence resulted in 564 deaths in 2024. Maggie Emery is with the gun violence protection group, Protect Minnesota.
We are up 6%, and we are one of the only states in the entire nation where gun deaths increased instead of decreased last year.
Why is this happening?
2020, there were 500,000 new guns sold in this state. So there's now 500,000 people in the state of Minnesota who are armed than there were before.
But here's the caveat. The majority of these deaths are not homicides.
Of those 564 deaths last year, 406 or 72% of them were firearm suicides.
An alarming trend for sure. Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
And if you like trucks, downtown Minneapolis is the place to be today with the big honking truck parade getting underway on the Nicollet Mall next hour. It includes fire trucks, police trucks, an armored Bearcat, construction vehicles, a tunnel washer, and more. The event kicked off at 4. The parade starts at 5:30. WCCO News Time is 4:06.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
It's on 494 westbound, make way toward Portland Avenue with an accident with injuries. Right 2 lanes are currently closed right now. It is a slow go coming in from Cedar Avenue. You're also going to find it to be slow traveling on the eastbound side, coming in from the Bush Lake roads. Up on the north side, you're going to find 610 eastbound jammed up Broadway to Highway 252. 10 westbound jamming up in the area of Hanson Boulevard. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Choose Herbert and Gerbert's when you want fresh ingredients for a perfect sandwich like the Italian Flash or the Turkey Avocado Norma. Funky names are full of flavor. And don't forget our hearty soups and chili. Stop by or order ahead online. HerbertandGerberts.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Herbert and Gerbert's. Fresh ingredients on sandwiches always. And don't forget the soup. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
The smoke will remain parked over us for the next couple of days. The air quality will stink. The alert holding until 5 p.m. on Saturday. That aside, nice weather, partly cloudy, 58 tonight. We'll keep the mix of sun and clouds tomorrow, although it'll look like a cloudy sky with the smoke. 80 the high, matching that on Saturday. We'll stay dry right through the weekend.
Hazy smoke right now, 76 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Politics, sports, business, and everything that moves Minnesota. News Talk 830 WCCO. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRUSHA. Now, here's Jason DeRUSHA.
Have I been traded yet? So far, no. I mean, what are my options, right? Like, if I were being traded as part of one of these deals, like, I don't, would I go to Houston? Yeah. I've never been to Houston. I guess I have no opinion on Houston. There's a Dodgers trade in here, right? Brock Stewart. Was he?
Yeah. This is actually the one big leaguer the Twins have gotten in return. Brock Stewart sent to the Dodgers for outfielder James Outman.
Okay.
Who's a very light hitting but defensively skilled outfielder. So
yeah,
think somewhat similar to Harrison Bader with a little less of a bat.
They could trade me to Vegas. I would go. I do
Yeah,
have
you'd have to stop in Sacramento
Yeah.
for like the next 3 years. So
yeah, you're closer to like wine country there.
Okay.
There's some upside for me. It is it's trade day. It's garage sale day for the Minnesota Twins. It's always hard to tell what the initial emotional reaction is, because as a Twins fan, and Dan, you're a huge fan, I am a huge fan. It's tough when you see your team. Like, we saw the players throw in the towel, I think, when we listened to yesterday's game. And then today you see the team throwing in the towel. This is the team saying this team as structured isn't going to be it.
This is the club looking at the last 2 years and going, this roster wasn't as competitive as we thought it was going to be, and it's time to make some significant changes. And that's why you see a Carlos Correa leaving, a Johan Duran leaving. And obviously there's still another hour to go here, and who knows what's going to happen.
It is, the reaction you get right away from season ticket holders is, I'm out. I'm going to cancel. I'm not going to sign next year. Normally, I would say this is probably bluster from fans, where it's like, if you love the Twins and you have your tickets and it's still your team, you're still going to go. But because the fan base feels so battered, I would not want to be answering the phone over there at Target Center on the old season ticket hotline today.
Target Field, yes. I would not
Field.
want to be that person. That's going to be, especially in the ticket office, that's not going to be good. Maybe just let that go to voicemail today. It's a day off. There's no games,
One of our texters here at 651-461-9226 saying, as a season ticket holder, each trade announcement is making me increasingly mad. I bought season tickets in exchange for some team player value. And when you get rid of everybody, the team is a shell of its original self. All the players going off roster far exceed the value returned. So I think that's
impossible to say with any definitive
we don't know
knowledge at this point. Certainly,
is it really about what you're getting back, or is it? I mean, my understanding is most of what is happening is shedding salary.
Well, certainly the Correa trade is shedding salary. Trading Paddock and Dobnik was shedding salary. The rest of the guys that you've traded, you weren't really paying all that much. So yes, I mean you don't have to pay their salaries anymore. And again, we don't know how much of Correa's salary the Twins are still going to have to pick up.
Right.
That hasn't been announced yet. So yeah, I mean that's a certain element to it. But I think moreover than that, along with that, I should say, I guess is probably a better way to say it. This is a reset of this roster. This is, again, looking at this roster that has not been competitive for 2 years now and saying some serious changes have to be made. And a lot of these guys that they're getting, by the way, I just am looking up the player that they got in exchange for Coulomb, sending Coulomb to Texas. So a lot of guys, you'll see this term, the complex league, either Arizona complex league or Florida complex league. That's the level below single A, low single A. So these are very, very young players, a lot of them that they're getting that you're not going to see in the big leagues if they make it to the big leagues for at least 2 to 3 years. So you're certainly not bringing in a bunch of guys in return for the guys that you're sending out that are going to help you immediately.
Right.
Now, that doesn't mean that with the salary that you've saved, you can't turn around on the free agent market and bring in some valuable players as well. So it isn't like this thing's going in the ditch for 2 or 3 years necessarily. It could. It certainly could. But that's not a guarantee at this point. The frustration that fans are feeling is real, and I don't want to diminish that. And this isn't a complete and total overhaul of the whole thing.
What's interesting about the emotions of this, and I welcome your let it rip at 651-461-9226. I feel gutted, and also over the last week, it was pretty obvious that this team wasn't going anywhere. So I don't feel worse about the team's prospects today than I did yesterday. Is it dumb for me to feel like at least they're doing something? 651-461-9226. Jason, trade Buxton. He's never played a full season anyway. Trade Buxton for a name brand pitcher. It is interesting to think about if you have decided to sell. Is it doing you a lot of good as a team perspective to keep Byron? As a marketing perspective, if you sell Buxton, then you're really like, who are we coming to watch today?
So there's a lot going on with that comment because, and I understand the frustration, but if you're complaining about Buxton because he doesn't stay as healthy as you might like, and by the way, nobody plays 162 anymore. So to criticize him for not playing a full season is,
but he has been
this
hurt.
Is
the first year we've got
been hurt a significant amount of time in his career. But to think that then he's going to have all this value to get you a big time pitcher when you're criticizing his value of because he can't stay healthy, that equation doesn't quite work out. Other GMs aren't going to go along with that. Plus, he also has a full no trade clause. And if he doesn't want to leave, then you're not sending him anywhere.
But if you're him today, if you look, you got to get people when they're in a weak moment. If you're Byron Buxton today, you're like, get me out of here. Trade me to a contender.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But two things speak most loudly to players, I think.
Money.
First and foremost is money.
Money.
Right? And the money isn't going to change if you trade him anywhere. He's making what he's making. That's it. The second thing, comfort and family. If you feel like you've got your family established in a spot, you don't want to be moving them around to who knows where, then I wouldn't blame him a bit for saying, no, I don't really want to go.
Where do you think that ranks, though? Do you think, so I think money is one.
Money is one. Family and comfort is two.
You don't think chance to win a World Series?
I think that's probably three.
Interesting.
But I think family and comfort come ahead of that for most players. That nothing's universal, obviously.
Yeah. I think if I were a player, I don't care about my family.
Hey, Brad, 416. 416 is the time on that.
I don't really care. All right, we're going to break. Keep your texts coming. Use us as your vent line. You can stream us on YouTube. I've got a graphic up tracking the number of players that have been traded away so far. We got about another 45 minutes, but I have other things I want to talk about today. And when we come back, I want to talk about construction because we have had MnDOT on, and they've said, it's not that It's not that much worse than it is. We've had city planners. Everyone's telling us that this construction season isn't that bad. One writer yesterday wrote a story that said they're all gaslighting us. They are lying straight to our face. I agree. We'll talk about it next.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSHA on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Let's talk about Minnesota pork. Man, a lot of pig farmers are probably a little irritated about all these trades today. It's Jason here for the Minnesota Pork Board. And I say a lot of pig farmers because we got a lot of them here in Minnesota. We are one of the biggest pork producing states in the country. Why? We have the best farmers, 3,000 of them, family farmers every quarter of the state. The good news for you is Minnesota pork is lean, it's high in protein, it's safe, it's delicious, it's reliable, it's affordable. Why aren't you making Minnesota pork a bigger part of your life? Taste what pork can do for you. For me, it's all about the flavor. And pork is so versatile. You like spicy like I do? Oh, Mexican flavors, all those roasted chilies infused in some nice pork shoulder. You got carnitas. You have just so many wonderful options. How about barbecue? Oh, my goodness. This is prime barbecue season. You get that low and slow going on a nice rack of pork ribs. Oh, baby. How about pork tenderloin? You need a quick dinner? That is awesome. How about a ham sandwich? You're driving your kid to baseball practice, to this, to that. So many options for you at mnpork.com. Click on Pork 101, but get to your grocery store, your butcher shop, and let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight.
Hi, Denny Long here. Join us every Saturday for the Home Improvement Show by Lindis Construction. Andy Lindis and I will be taking your home improvement questions both by phone and by text every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock here on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Runnings is celebrating 78 years serving local communities as your home, farm, and outdoor store. Enjoy great savings across all departments on great brands like DeWalt, Noble Outfitters, Yellow Jacket, Harvest King, Heartland Harvest, Little Giant, Milwaukee Tool, and Wells Lamont. Register online to win a $780 Runnings gift card, too. Runnings is celebrating 78 years. Get in on the fun and savings at any of Runnings' 90 locations and online at Runnings.com. Runnings, your home, farm, and outdoor store.
New month, new flavors. Jordana here for my friends at Mini Leaf. I'm talking about those Sleep Night gummies. I know you love them, and they even have a new and improved Sleep Night gummy. But here's a twist. They got some new flavors. So better sleep and some yummy new flavors. Great grape, green apple, snooze, and mellow mango in the nighttime blend. And of course, everybody loves the peaceful pineapple. That still exists in those Sleep Night gummies. Better sleep is the way to a better you. Mini Leaf can make that happen. I give these out to friends all the time. I recommend them for anybody who's having sleep troubles. You guys know they help me get off my Ambien, really. These gummies help me get off a pharmaceutical. I hope they will do wonders for you. Here's how you get them. Minileaf.com. MINNELEAF.com.
Mini Leaf means quality. Taste happy at minileaf.com.
The home of Minnesota's best legal products.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
The success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and relevant life and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. Classes start August 13th. Apply now and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by SHEV.
Jason DeRUSHA.
He's representing the state, everything. He should be a model citizen.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
I look good. Yo, take my picture. I look super hot right now.
Why can't they just tell us the truth? It's a simple question. Why can't the government just tell us what we all know is obvious? If you've driven anywhere around the Twin Cities, you see construction cones. In the metro, there is more construction than a normal year. There is. And we've had MnDOT on the show. We've had construction planners. And they're like, well, it's about the same, Jason. You're just reacting to what's in front of you. It's recency bias. And at first I accepted it. It's like, well, we only know the construction projects that are right in front of us. So maybe, in fact, maybe it's not that bad. Over the last couple days, there have been 2 stories that have come out that have said, no, they're lying to us. Adam Platt in Twin Cities Business wrote a story that says it's supposed to be a normal construction season, but is what we see with our eyes on the streets of Minneapolis not real? And it is real. What is a mystery to me is why everyone is so insistent in saying it's just normal. This drives me crazy. And this is a classic sort of government issue, but we see it in business too, where people want to parse words, be like, well, from a state perspective, the number of MnDOT projects throughout the state is fairly standard. Then a county comes up, they're like, well, from a county standpoint, we're just doing regular maintenance. I don't know what you're talking about. We got city, county, state, metro transit, public utility, gas, sewer, water, electric. All of this is going on. When you look at summer road construction projects in Minneapolis, it's especially bad in the city of Minneapolis because there's just a lot, you got a lot going on. And I'm going to put up on the YouTube stream a graphic, if you're watching us at WCCO Radio, on the YouTube channel. And it shows, find where there's not a project. It's everywhere. Now, I'm not an idiot. I like construction projects to happen. It means that roads are being fixed, maintenance is happening, things are getting better. We know that there's been an infusion of federal money, and there's been a willingness and an eagerness and an urgency for governmental agencies to spend it, because you don't know what's going to happen with the Trump administration. So why is it that you got to get the background quote from some unnamed expert, who's going to say yeah, there's more money in the mix. A highly placed Minneapolis official tells Adam Platt at Twin Cities Business there's simply too much money around for it to be a normal construction season. Just tell us the truth. Just tell us, yes, there is more construction activity in the metro than there normally is. You're not crazy. We're spending money that the federal... What's the downside? This is what I don't understand about this. Why not just tell us, yeah, it's pretty bad. We're doing our best to minimize it. We're trying to plan it as much as possible and not have major closures in the same area doubled up. We're trying to keep things moving. But the reality is we have this much money, this many projects. We're doing our best. And so here it is. This is what frustrates me to no end about this sort of PR-driven, safe, BS kind of communication that we often get from our government, where all you have to do is just tell us what's happening. Yeah. What's I don't understand the downside. Gaslighting is a word you hear a lot. It's kind of a manipulation where, say Dan and I are having a conversation and Dan's like, Jason, you keep interrupting me.
Jason, you keep interrupting me.
I don't know what you're talking about. And I try to make you think you're crazy.
Why would you say that I'm
Dan,
crazy?
I think
I'm just saying you interrupt me a lot.
I don't know what you're talking about. And I think you need to look within yourself and ask yourself, why are you so boring that I need to interject?
I can't believe you would call me
Dan,
boring when I'm only trying to.
Once again, I'm not that interested. Gaslighting, brought to you by Drive Time with DeRUSHA. That is what is.
And scene.
I hope everybody's been enjoying, really. We've had a lot of community theater for people today. We had the Minnesota Twins fire sale commercial.
Yes.
Dan and I doing our Rosencrantz and Guildenstern impression.
Is that what we were doing?
I don't know. That's exactly what that is.
Who's on first? No, that's a different
thing. Just tell us the deal. That's all I'm asking for. I also think the Republicans who are trying to make road construction into a political hot potato, and they're like, you should run on this. I'm like, well, do regular people think that Tim Walz planned out construction projects? Like, give me a break. At a certain point, we're like, does everything have to be political? I guess yes. But then when the people who are in power are like, no, I don't know what you guys are talking about. The construction's fine. Detour. Here's Jerry. The roads are closed once again this weekend. Oh, time for a weekend. It may, I don't know. No, I'm not going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I was about to say, well, maybe it isn't that bad. It is that bad. Stop lying to us. You're making me question my own sanity. I don't know what's going to be closed this weekend. I have started. This is how much I've given up with the construction. I now am punching into GPS directions from home to work. I have been driving to this same location every weekday for 23 years. I do not need Google to tell me how to get downtown. But because of road construction, I'm like, well, dang it. I guess I got to turn it over to the algorithm and see what's going to be closed down and what isn't.
It's the worst thing you can ever hear from Google Maps, which is this route avoids major construction. This is still the fastest route.
Still the fastest route. Ugh, ridiculous. Let's break. Lots of trade talk. So lots of that going on. We welcome your feedback. It's still rolling. Oh, do we have a new one?
We have a new one.
Oh, we should have had a sound effect.
We really should have. If I'd been a good producer, I would have had that ready to go.
I didn't think of
Willie Castro has been traded to the Chicago Cubs for a prospect package to be defined. So,
okay.
You can add him to your graphic, Willie Castro.
All right, so we'll take a break. I'll go back into Canva, update the graphic that you can see. If you're watching the live stream, we love when you join the community on YouTube Live, at the WCCO Radio Facebook page, and on my X account, DeRUSHA J. So that's where you can find the video stream. You can subscribe to the podcast where you can listen to any segment you missed, wherever you get podcasts. So make sure you do that as well. It's 4:30. It's Twins trade day. The big news is that Carlos Correa traded back to Houston. But Willie Castro, the latest one, with 30 minutes to go in the trade deadline. You hear it all as it breaks right here on Drive Time with DeRUSHA.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSHA. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, I guess I can't update the graphic yet because I got to tell you about Chris Lindahl. You know, I was driving today as I avoided construction on my way into work, and I saw the newest Chris Lindahl billboard. Have you guys seen this? It's the arms wide out, but no face in the middle. And it talks about getting a fresh start fast. It's Jason here telling the story of my friend, Chris Lindahl. I've known him for a long time. Chris is a Minnesota guy. He's a great dude. Man, if you get to hang out with Chris Lindahl, you would absolutely love this guy. So I'm like, Chris, what's up? Why are we seeing you everywhere? And he said, look, more and more people are saying yes to the guaranteed cash offer because people want a fresh start in their life and they want it fast. So if you need a fresh start and you've got a house that you got to get rid of, maybe there was a marital situation, maybe someone died in your family, maybe somebody moved, maybe you need money, whatever the case is, you don't have time for the usual shenanigans. You don't have time to gamble on whatever the interest rate is going to be today. Are they going up? Are they going down? Are we cutting rates? Are we not? You don't have time to do repairs. You don't have time to do renovate. You have time for none of that. So Chris can get you to the finish line on a house sale in as little as 2 days. 2 days. That is a fresh start. Get your guaranteed cash offer and get that fresh start today. Do it at chrislindahl.com.
What if WCCO had been there during the most epic events in ancient history?
Oh, Adam, I really think you should take a bite of this.
But Eve, isn't this from the...
Shh, eat.
Breaking news. Sources have confirmed eating the forbidden fruit is definitely forbidden. Another top story we're covering, the forecast today looks perfect. I-75 with a 100% chance of exile.
If it mattered, WCCO was probably already covering it. History has always happened here. News Talk 830 WCCO.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-885-9700. 800-885-9700. That's 800-885-9700.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Crash working East 394 as you make way toward I-94. The activity off to the right side. Your slowdowns beginning back at Highway 100. North 169, that's a slow ride from Highway 62 all the way up toward I-94, 94 westbound jam past 169, heading up to 610. And on the southwest corner, you're going to find slowdowns in place, south 169, 494 to 101. Trey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Chanhassen Dinner Theaters brings back its most popular show of all time, Grease. It's a high-octane party that'll rock your socks off. Order today. Visit chanhassendt.com. Be there or be square.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Chanhassen Dinner Theaters bringing us the forecast. Catch Grease on stage through October 4th. Here is Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Can't really call it a blue sky because of the smoke in the air. That air quality alert still in effect until 5 p.m. on Saturday. Partly cloudy, cooling back to 58 tonight. A high of 80 tomorrow with a partly cloudy sky. We stay dry right through the weekend. Those highs should be right around 80, maybe some sprinkles next Monday.
Partly cloudy thanks to all of the smoke. Right now, it is 77 degrees in Minneapolis on CCO.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSHA on News Talk 830 WCCO.
DeRUSHA, he has the eats.
Nobody brings you the Twin Cities restaurant scene like your favorite foodie. Now, Jason explores some of the great chefs, owners, and stories right in our own backyard. Drive Time now transitions into DeRUSHA Eats.
All right, DeRUSHA Eats brought to you by the Minnesota Pork Board. We encourage you to subscribe to the podcast, the DeRUSHA Eats podcast, which you can find on the Odyssey app. You can find it on Spotify, and it's also available on Apple Podcasts. The Eats podcast features a great interview with Brett Anderson, who is a New York Times food writer, who wrote about sort of the growth and the invention of Hmong food as a fine dining experience. And that is centered right here in Minneapolis. And I also would love if you guys would listen to episode 10 of this season, which has the owners of Quang Restaurant right on Eat Street in Minneapolis. Their story is amazing of the family escaping Vietnam, coming here as refugees from St. Cloud to probably the most famous Vietnamese restaurant in Minneapolis. And now it's the third generation that's helping to run that deal. Pretty cool stuff. So we would love if you would subscribe and check out some of your favorites from the podcast. So today is National Avocado Day. National Avocado Day. And this morning, Dan and I were talking about National Avocado Day.
Yeah.
And what Dan said shook me.
But it shouldn't have. You've known me long enough now that this can't really be that shocking to you, can it?
I'm not. I mean, I don't know why you have to question this very dramatic setup I did.
Because I'm trying to lessen the impact
Fine,
on my...
Dan, it didn't shake me. I was not surprised because you don't like anything
There
that
you go.
isn't pizza and a burger and maybe chicken nugs.
Yeah, that's about it.
You have the culinary taste of like an 8-year-old boy.
Absolutely. And I own that.
I have never in my years of knowing you seen you eat a vegetable.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Now, is an avocado a fruit or a vegetable?
You would have a much better idea of that than I would.
I would say it's a plant. It is. I think it's a fruit because it's got a seed.
They have seeds? Okay. Then it's
Isn't that the factor? I think so.
I mean, I don't eat really much in the way of fruit or vegetables, so again,
Yeah, it doesn't really
matter to me.
So National Avocado Day. Chipotle is offering you the chance to win free Chipotle guacamole for a year. And to Dan, you were telling me you would rather be waterboarded.
Yes.
Than eating guacamole.
Yeah. No,
What
I find
is
guacamole just utterly disgusting.
what's your issue?
Mostly when it comes to stuff like guacamole, it's a texture issue.
Okay.
I don't like mushy stuff that tastes funky.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming guacamole fans have a much different way of describing it. I think they can see how I'm getting to what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a dip.
Yeah.
Right? Like it is mushy.
Yeah.
Here's my guacamole issue. Or not. I have no guacamole issue. You're out of your mind. Who out there is nobody's against guacamole.
I am.
651-461-9226. Are you with Dan Cook? Are you anti guac?
Yeah, I'm anti.
Because I just want, I want you guys to have a voice. You know?
You want them to pile on is what you want.
It's time for you to be seen. Avocado haters. So do you also hate avocado or you hate?
Yeah, I don't.
So guacamole is also hated.
Correct.
You've never had like a slice of avocado?
I wouldn't have phrased it like this, texter, but I'm 100% with him.
Dan is 100% right. Guacamole looks like baby poop. Yuck. I mean, in fairness, it does sort of look like baby poop.
Again, I wouldn't phrase it that way, but
I've changed some diapers in my day.
I can't say they're wrong.
Yeah, I can't argue with it. I can't. I like guacamole. I like making it. I'm pretty good at making guacamole. My sister-in-law, Kim, likes making guacamole. That's sort of her go-to thing to bring. Like we're having a family gathering Saturday night. And if I had to wager what she would bring, there's a good chance it's going to be guac.
Sure.
That's
Your friend, Wayne Kostrowski.
Oh, yeah.
Makes guac. I mean, that was his thing for the longest time.
Yes, at Tejas.
And he'd show up on the sports show or anywhere else.
And he'd bring that.
Here, I'll make some guacamole right here.
Tejas, by the way, is the Tejas Express at the State Fair is one of the foodie hidden gems because it's so good and people sort of sleep on it.
I'm trying to figure out if I'm tearing up because of the smoke or because of the swell of support that we are seeing on the text line.
I finally agree with Dan. I'm anti-avocado and guacamole. Another texter that's a 320, a 763, 100% against guacamole. Another texter from the 612, I call it yuckamole. Do you really call it yuckamole?
I mean,
Joe in Maple Grove coming through pro guacamole. Another texter, I like to side with Dan whenever possible, but it's a no for me, dog. You're just wrong. Guacamole, it's delicious.
Sure.
Have you ever had it?
Yes.
When's the last time you had guacamole?
Oh, years and years and years ago. But see, my problem when it comes to food, once I get it in my head that I probably might not like something, forget it. We're done.
Another texter, I'm a visual eater, and guacamole does not look appealing.
Yep.
So
that's a big part of it.
So that's it. It's over for me. I mean, I guess I just didn't realize there was so much guacamole hate.
I think you're seeing everybody in our listening audience that does hate guacamole is texting right now.
Literally 100%.
Yeah.
I'm with Dan. It looks like green mush and molded.
There you go.
Maybe Dan should spread it thin on toast.
No.
Another texter, I love me some avocado toast in the morning with a hard-boiled egg. Now, remember when avocado toast was like the official punchline for making fun of millennials, right? Like when you're like, oh, man, avocado, classic millennial, you're probably sitting there with your latte and your avocado toast. I love avocado toast.
This picture that you've just put up on
that
YouTube,
is not the most appealing avocado toast.
I want to vomit, but it looks like somebody already has.
If you take avocado, now some people call it avocado toast, but it's really guacamole toast. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But if you take thinly sliced avocado, or maybe just avocado with a little salt, kind of give it a little swoosh, put a little
You have to
fried
swish
egg.
your food. I'm sorry. I'm out.
Love guacamole, says a texter. Pro guac, says another, or pro baby poop, whatever you got to call it. Wasn't there a famous song from Finian's Rainbow called How Are Things and Guacamole? I don't know.
That's a deep cut. I remember being a kid and them doing a Finian's Rainbow production at the church we were going to. So,
very close. Very close. Like
blackface in that play, as I remember. So that's a bit problematic.
If you'd like to hear a little of that song, I think.
Daddy bird, it well maybe he's bringing me a cheering word. I hear a breeze.
We're gonna play the whole song and wait till we get to the actual line. I don't know. It's called How Are Things in Guacamora? Very close.
Sure.
Very close. The texture, I love the interaction. Dan is making me laugh, but he is wrong. Guacamole is delicious.
I'm not telling anybody else, to not like it.
Well,
I'm just saying,
I feel like you are.
No.
Like you would appreciate.
I fully own you. You accused me earlier, and appropriately so, of having the culinary palate of an 8-year-old. I own that, but I recognize that's me, and that I'm strange in that regard, and I don't expect anybody else to adhere to that. All I ask is that they give me that same show of respect and quit trying to push their avocado nonsense on me.
Yeah, I get it. Like the avocado cabal, Big Avo.
You want to bring us food out at the fair, which is a month from today, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
1 month from today, we'll be standing on the porch out at Dan Patch and whatever it is. You want to bring some cheese curds over? You want to bring a pound pup? I'm good. Great.
You're good.
Don't bring me any avocado. Don't do it.
Guacamole is awesome, especially with lots of lime juice and cilantro. So I'm heavy on the lime, heavy on cilantro. I use red onion. Not everybody uses red onion. I do. And salt. I love salt. But texture says I can see where some don't like it, the texture and the color. Now, another texture brings up the accurate comparison because it is in the hummus family of dips where it's got a little bit of earth to it.
3 guesses about my opinion on hummus, and the first 2 don't count.
Eat it out of the avocado with a spoon.
No, thank you.
Yeah, you just pull. And if you really want to get delicious, you get a little of that everything but the bagel seasoning from Trader Joe's, and you sprinkle that in there. Oh, baby.
The only thing I'm doing with a spoon when it comes to an avocado is using it to fling the avocado towards the nearest trash receptacle and calling Kobe if I make it.
Well, happy National Avocado Day.
Yes, however you celebrate.
From everybody here at the station. Anybody get traded yet? 11 minutes left in the trade deadline. The Twins have traded 7 away, including Carlos Correa, Willie Castro, Harrison Bader, and Brock Stewart. Those and Danny Coulomb. Those are the 5 from today so far. We'll update you after a break. Drive time with DeRUSHA on a busy Twins trade day here on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSHA on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Today, I was at the Galleria in Edina, and I went to see my friends at J.H. & Sons. It's Jason, Chuck, and Bryce, and Kevin, and the whole crew at J.H. & Sons. The service there is so good. And if you're watching us on a live stream right now, I'm actually wearing a jacket that I got at J.H. & Sons. This is probably Dan's favorite jacket.
I do like that the sport coat.
Yeah. This is kind of
the cool guy shirt you're wearing underneath it.
It's just a white t-shirt.
Sure, yeah, that's fine. But I like that coat.
So right now, this kind of unstructured jacket, this is the trend for the fall at J.H. & Sons. And you can go to their website, jhandsons.com. Sign up for their email list. You'll be the first to know about sales, which includes the sale that's going on right now. And that's what I was checking out there. They've got awesome loafers and spring and summer shoes on sale at like 40% off. So many like polo shirts and button-up short sleeves for 50% off. Linen pants, great lightweight pants, also 50% off. So many incredible things. This is the end of the season sale. So you got to get in there. You got to see what they have. You have to act fast because when it's gone, it's gone. J.H. & Sons is premium men. Wonderful quality. Incredible fabrics. People is what puts it over the top. Go say hi to Kevin. Tell him you heard it on Drive Time and get yourself some of this summer sale going on right now at the Galleria in Edina, J.H. & Sons.
Heading out for the weekend? Lucky you.
Don't forget to stop at Taylor Meats of Pierce for some melt-in-your-mouth moments.
High quality beef.
Fresh and smoked sausages and rocks.
Home smoked bacon.
All natural chicken.
A great selection of fish and seafood.
Visit us at TaylorMeats.com.
We've got the cuts that'll make your meal.
Call to order ahead and pick up on your way to the lake.
You'll be the hit of the party.
No meals complete without feeling meats of Pierce.
612 Saturdays are back at Target Field. Enjoy $6 drinks, $1 snacks, and $2 food when gates open.
I'm from the 952, and I enjoy 612 Saturdays.
The 952 is welcome.
I'm from the 218.
218, 651. Everyone is welcome at 612 Saturdays.
I'm from the 313. How about me?
That's Detroit.
Yeah.
Sure. Enjoy the weekend wind up with 612 Saturdays presented by Carbliss. $6 drinks, $1 snacks, and $2 food. When we're together, the Twins rise as one. Join in at twins.com/tickets.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
When you're in pain, you need the Good Feet store. Do not waste another minute suffering from foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call for the Good Feet store for your no-obligation custom fitting. You will immediately feel the difference.
I walked right into the Good Feet store and I tried the Good Feet Arch Support System, and my hip pain is gone, went away.
The Good Feet Arch Support System are designed to put your foot in the most ideal position, redistributing the body weight more evenly, helping to relieve pain and stress in the body.
That nagging pain in my lower back, gone instantly thanks to the Good Feet supports.
Good Feet store has over 350 styles and sizes to relieve your pain. Call for your personal fitting.
And I have never had a problem since. I can walk in heels again, and it's great.
Call 855-554-3338. Step into pain relief.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
We know you're uncertain about psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a forum legit?
Your one true love is...
me! That's why California Psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Get insights on the go. Download the California Psychics app today.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
I'm on the slow side, East 494. As you come away from Penn Avenue, heading out toward the Minnesota River Bridge. 35 East, slows both directions from Grand Avenue and Highway 62. 494 northbound, get ready for your on and off slowdowns, Excelsior, all the way up into the Fish Lake Interchange. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Fresh coffee or lemonade made with Connecticut water. It's like a refreshing summer vacation. Dave Lee for Aquarius. Enjoy worry-free water throughout your home and save up to 25% on a Connecticut system. Schedule your free water analysis at AquariusHomeservices.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Aquarius Home Services bringing us the weather forecast, earning the right to be recommended. Air quality alert until the weekend. Tonight, 58's the low. Uneventful other than that crummy air. 80 will be the high tomorrow and Saturday. Dry and not humid, just smoky. Right now, it's 77 on CCO.
Broadcasting from the Flativeau Land Studios, this is News Talk 830 WCCO. If you're looking to buy or sell farmland, you need Flativeau Land. For the latest auctions, listings, appraisals, and consulting, visit FlativeauLand.com.
Que estoy en romo pero feo, feo. Y hoy hay que darme banda.
Oh, this is what I'm going to miss. I'm going to miss Carlos Correa. When we first got Carlos, it was kind of that moment that made you feel like we're making a run. Carlos was part of one of the greatest Twins moment of recent history, right? Where he was a part of finally breaking the playoff curse. But that Yohan Duran entrance is the coolest. It's just the coolest. It's so great. And I will miss that. Mixed feelings today on a busy day for the Twins, and trade after trade. You hate to see your team be in the selling mode. And so far, we got a couple minutes left in the trade deadline. And we got Correa, Castro, Bader, Stewart, Coulomb, Duran, and Chris Paddock all traded in the last couple days, most today. There could be more that develop. There were rumors that Joe Ryan, there was a late move for him. So we'll keep watching it over the last half hour. Now we're just going to Target Field to have fun. The beer's still cold. You know, I mean, that's still good. Latest news coming up.
You can do this. Why? Because no one cares more about your money than you. Right now, many have concerns about their retirement, their investments. Are these mutual funds a poor investment? Did you know that with the average fees of 2%, you could be missing out on upwards of half of your potential retirement dollars? That's pretty high for management, especially when 75% of these funds underperform the market. At Trading Academy, our mission is to empower you to take control of your investments. Text investing to 210-210. Take control of your financial future. Maybe it's to just have a better conversation with your broker. Sign up for a free investing class, local classrooms, one-on-one mentoring, how to protect your investments against inflation. Text investing to 210-210 or go to learnwithota.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Hear, think, understand, repeat. Your information station is News Talk 830 WCCO 1029 HD2 Minneapolis, St. Paul.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Severe weather is sweeping across the eastern part of the country after days of extreme heat. Christopher Cruz reports.
3 to 4 inches of rain fell northeast of Baltimore this afternoon. About 10 miles north of the city, along U.S. Route 40, this man's car was swamped.
I've never seen it like this before. And so I figured it was safe to come out. And once I came across that railroad track and got here, I figured I could keep going, but I couldn't.
Flash flood warnings are in place for parts of New York City, New Jersey, and Philadelphia. States of emergency have been declared in New Jersey and New York City. Christopher Cruz, CBS News, Washington.
In Texas, lawmakers held a hearing on the deadly July 4th floods. Chris Fox has that.
William Thomas is the emergency management coordinator for Kerr County. He told Texas state lawmakers at the time of the flooding, he was sick in bed.
I was awakened around 5:30 a.m. on July the 4th by my wife, following a call from the city of Kerrville EMC requesting that I mobilize.
By that time, Camp Mystic was already underwater. Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick also called out Kerr County Judge Rob Kelly for his immediate response.
I don't know where you were on day one on July 4th, but you should have been here. You should have been here directing that response.
Chris Fox for CBS News, Austin.
The president is dispatching his Mideast envoy to Gaza tomorrow. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
Tomorrow, Special Envoy Witkoff and Ambassador Huckabee will be traveling into Gaza to inspect the current distribution sites and secure a plan to deliver more food and meet with local Gazans to hear firsthand about this dire situation on the ground.
CBS's Deborah Pata.
Life expectancy has reportedly fallen by 35 years. Gaza has the highest number of child deaths of any conflict zone, and the report concludes starvation has been relentlessly used as a weapon of war.
The deadline to make a trade deal with the U.S. is midnight tonight. CBS's Jill Schlesinger on what we can expect.
Now it seems that we're settling at a 15% tariff rate with some, I would say, hazy details on how those countries will be investing in the United States, different for each country.
The U.S. Treasury says this country has already taken in $87 billion from the tariffs. Correspondent Nancy Cordes is at the White House.
Revenue is increasing. It is coming in. It's going to the U.S. Treasury. And the president has even floated the possibility of sending rebate checks to Americans.
On Wall Street, investors were following the latest tariff developments, and stocks finished lower. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Minnesota's trusted voice. Every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Smoky skies, 76 degrees at 5:03. I'm Laura Oakes. The MLB trade deadline has come and gone, and so has the Carlos Correa era in Minnesota. Multiple outlets reporting Correa is being traded back to Houston, where he started his career. USA Today's Bob Nightingale reporting there is only one prospect coming to the Twins in return, and the Twins will be paying a significant portion of the remaining $102 million in Correa's contract. Other trades today include relief pitcher Danny Coulombe going to Texas in return for left-handed pitcher Garrett Horn, outfielder Harrison Bader heading to Philadelphia Phillies for 2 prospects, and pitcher Brock Stewart going to the LA Dodgers in exchange for outfielder James Outman. The Athletic also reporting within the past 15 minutes that Willie Castro of the Twins is headed to the Cubs for 2 pitching prospects.
And Laura, we can add Griffin Jacks.
All right.
Which Dan Hayes from The Athletic just posted 30 seconds ago. Griffin Jacks going to the Tampa Bay Rays.
It has been a whirlwind.
Indeed.
Thank you. Our air quality in the unhealthy category again today. The National Weather Service saying the worst of it may actually come tomorrow morning in the Twin Cities. Health officials are warning people to limit their outdoor activities, but plenty have been out running, biking, and walking their dogs today.
He's feeling safe. He's hiked with me all over, so his lungs are good too. So keep it healthy, I guess.
Others out and about say they left their pets at home.
I will say I didn't let the cat out this morning because the last time she got some asthma problems, so today she has to stay inside.
The air quality alert is in effect through late Saturday afternoon. St. Paul Mayor Melvin Carter with an update on the city's cyber attack.
The mayor confirmed that services and systems are steadily recovering, in part due to the city's initial response, which included a delayed public announcement of the situation to better contain the issue.
Our city was racing to put up protective measures. We did not want to publicly communicate before we got a chance to take advantage of that opportunity. We didn't want to publicly communicate in a way that could have made the incident that we're responding to more acute.
While he didn't comment on the ongoing investigation, he assured city employees that payroll will go out next week as normal. In St. Paul, I'm Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830 WCCO.
St. Paul police asking for the public's help after the statue of Olympic gymnast Suni Lee was stolen from Lake Phelan. They say it was taken within the last day and are actively working to find it. Anyone with information is asked to contact St. Paul Police. And another late-breaking trade coming from the Twins. A couple of outlets reporting that pitcher Louis Varland has also been traded. That along with Griffin Jacks that we just learned about in the last couple of minutes and Willie Castro. It's 5:06 on WCCO.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Things are slow for 494 eastbound run. You come in from East Bush Lake Road, heading out toward the Minnesota River Bridge. Cedar South, that's jammed up from 494, heading down to Highway 13, and you're going to find slowdown South 35W, 106th Street to Highway 13 up on the north side. 94 westbound, watching the congestion run as you make way between 169 and 101. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jason DeRUSHA here. The Canopy Group represents 16 different insurance companies, not just one. They give you options. Each year, they'll review your program so you don't have to, making sure you get the best coverage at the best price. Do like I did. Go to thecanopygroup.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by the Canopy Group. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
The smoke will remain parked over us for the next couple of days. The air quality will stink. The alert holding until 5 p.m. on Saturday. That aside, nice weather, partly cloudy, 58 tonight. We'll keep the mix of sun and clouds tomorrow, although it'll look like a cloudy sky with the smoke. 80 the high, matching that on Saturday. We'll stay dry right through the weekend.
Smoky skies right now, 76 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Because knowing what's going on shouldn't require 17 different apps. News Talk 830 WCCO. He knows news. He knows talk. He knows nonsense too. So get ready for a lot of each. This is Drive Time with DeRUSHA. Once again, here's Jason DeRUSHA.
Sort of staggering, isn't it, to see the whole list of Minnesota Twins that will not wear the Minnesota Twins jersey again? Are you adding another to the list, Dan?
There's another. Ty France apparently is going to be on the move. Still looking for details on that trade. But this is a good old-fashioned fire sale, Jason. They're blowing everybody out.
What I understand that other teams are looking for relief pitchers, but looking at this list, you've got how many relief pitchers on this list? 5 that are gone? It's crazy. It is crazy. I mean, what's interesting, and we'll get some insight from Michael Rand from the Star Tribune, but I see just pretty much the bullpen is gone.
So we just had heard the trade of Louis Varland to Toronto. Ty France apparently is part of that deal.
So add Ty France to the list.
Yes.
And who's reporting that?
Several outlets.
Outlets.
Ken Rosenthal was one of the first one I saw, but yeah, we're seeing several versions of it now.
I'm going to need, on the graphic that I've been posting online, I'm going to need a smaller font to fit all the names on the list. I don't know. It is one of those things where as a fan, you say like, all right, I do want, I want the team to perform, and these players have not performed. But is it the players, or is it the approach? Is it the coaching? Is it the motivation? Is it like, what is it?
Or is it some combination of all of those things?
Yeah. And at which point you maybe say, you got to make a move. And you say like, well, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work.
I feel for the Twins clubhouse guy, because there's a whole lot of sewing that's going to have to happen here in the next 24 hours.
Dan and I were just talking about how it's sort of a bummer that you don't have a game tonight. Now, looking at this list, it would be very difficult for the Twins to field a team.
Yep.
But wouldn't you like to watch tonight? Like I know you're a ball guy. You want to see a quality game? I would love to see the train wreck.
Well,
let's see the team try to figure it out. Who do we got? We have St. Paul, so we can bring some people
That
over.
sounds appealing, but we just watched a train wreck yesterday.
Yeah, but
that wasn't so appealing.
Well, that's because we thought there was hope.
I don't know how many people were thinking there was hope yesterday.
Maybe a little hope.
I would think if there was a game tonight, it would be even a worse train wreck.
Is there a comparable fire sale in baseball history, certainly not in Twins history.
Well, that's just it. I mean, in baseball history, I would say absolutely. There's probably been something like this, but it's rare. And I don't ever recall something like this in Twins history.
I'm counting 10 players.
Yeah.
It's been a busy day. It has been a busy day for the Twins. All right, we'll continue to update you because even though the trade deadline hit, pencils down, as one of my friends on X posted. The pencils are down, but these things can still emerge and the story can still come out and all of that. So we'll keep watching that. But why don't we update you on the DRUSH Hour News headlines? Let's do the lead.
The headlines you might have missed without missing a beat. This is your fast pass through the biggest and most impactful stories of the day. Welcome to the DeRUSH Hour headlines, starting with the lead.
And we'll get back to Twins talk in just a minute, but I want to start with an update from the city of St. Paul, where the National Guard was called in to help with the cyber attack. Yeah, the National Guard. You're like, what? Huh? I know the National Guard gets called in when you got flooding or you've got civil unrest or other stuff like that. But a cyber attack, my reaction was one of surprise. So we reached out to Lieutenant Colonel Brian Morgan, who is the Director of Cyber Coordination with the Minnesota National Guard. He's on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker hotline. And Colonel, my reaction to this is like, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not alone. Yeah, we're discovering a lot of people had the same impression.
Right. Yeah, we think of the National Guard as, responding to flooding or responding to other emergencies in Minnesota.
The Guard has been, for as long as anybody can remember here, responsible for all the things you mentioned, fire, flood, domestic disturbance, search and rescue, COVID pandemic support. They don't really think of us in terms of cyber emergencies, though, but here we are, and we have the people and the training and the partnerships to get the job done.
We're talking with Army Lieutenant Colonel Brian Morgan, the Director of Cyber Coordination for the Minnesota National Guard. How did you and how did the rest of your team, how did you guys get into this, where you had this sort of really specialized expertise that you need for what is a very complicated attack that's going on against St. Paul?
Sure. So the Army and National Guard being part of the larger Army, there's a special school that they send people to down at what used to be Fort Gordon. Now it's Fort Eisenhower down in Georgia. And that school is really a school for training cyber experts. Your average cyber soldier or cyber officer or warrant officer will go down there typically for 9 months. Some of the courses are even over a year long.
When you guys get deployed to something like this in St. Paul, where do you go?
We don't roll out how the public is used to us rolling out.
You're not in a Humvee and right.
We leave those. Actually, we don't even have any of those in the cyber force here. So, the unique thing about the cyber forces that we have is they don't really even carry weapons. We're not armed in that manner. In our world, our weapons are our minds and our skills and experience within these, digital infrastructure and digital landscapes. So we'll actually roll and go to their location where they need us, which is typically close to where the technical equipment is and the different, easy access to those kind of things that we might be working with.
Yeah.
And then we'll partner with them and basically work with them to do whatever they need us to do to support.
I don't know, to me, this is so cool. My oldest son is a computer science major at NYU. And you think, how cool is it for people who have that sort of information security, have, maybe software engineering background, but that they could give back to the state in this way by being part of the Guard as well?
Yeah, so people who have information security background, computer science degrees, IT, networking kind of backgrounds and stuff like that, there's always room in the National Guard. Even if Minnesota's cyber forces are full, there may not be availability here at the moment. Partner states, Wisconsin, Illinois, the region, there are cyber forces almost everywhere now, and so the National Guard is a great avenue for future citizen soldiers to look at, to contribute, give back to their community, use their skills they've acquired and then their passion for technology and those kind of things, they can really use this as an instrument to feel like they're participating in something better than and bigger than themselves.
Pretty cool. It's really great. Well, I'm so glad you spent some time with us so we could learn a little bit more about it. I think it's fascinating, and good luck to you guys. I hope we got to get St. Paul back online, right? We got to get it back under control.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal, and we're making good progress. Yeah, we'll work together to get the critical services back online and call it mission complete.
Good stuff. Lieutenant Colonel Brian Morgan. Thanks, Colonel. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
And next up in the lead is the Minnesota Twins fire sale. It is staggering to see the list of Minnesota Twins players who are no longer Minnesota Twins players. Michael Rand is a Star Tribune columnist. He hosts a podcast called Daily Delivery, and he is with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. Mike, this is way beyond what I expected. Certainly 2 weeks ago, I would have thought, I bet the Twins aren't going to do much. But they played so terribly over the last couple of weeks. How do you assess this? The Carlos Correa move, obviously the biggest headline. But for me, the fact they've cleared out the bullpen is pretty amazing.
Yeah, both those things are shocking, right? Like Correa, I'm not surprised that they are interested in getting out from underneath that contract. He doesn't really seem like he fits their budget or their timeline anymore. But yeah, getting rid of, all of those guys in the bullpen, especially, basically they got rid of their best 5 relief pitchers, including, a lot of them that still were under team control. Joan Duran, Griffin Jacks, Louis Varland, now Brock Stewart too. Like all those guys could have been contributors to a bullpen next season. So that's the piece of it that makes me think this is a hard reset. This isn't like, hey, let's come back and get them next year. This is a 2, 3, 4 year plan that seems to have been sprung right now.
10 players. That is what? 40% of the major league ballpark?
20, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, 26 player roster these days. Yeah, that's 25. Yeah, that's 40%. That's 40%.
We are seeing details now too, Michael. Your guy Bobby Nightingale reporting that the Twins are putting in $33 million to cover Carlos Correa's remaining contract. He's owed about $104 million over the next 3.5 years.
What do you assess of that? That sounds like not a terrible deal for the Twins if they're trying to get rid of salary.
Yeah, I mean, especially since the reporting earlier was Houston was looking for them to take on half of that. They need to stay under the luxury tax this season. So if they're taking on $33 million, if the Twins are taking on $33 million, that's a little less than a third. So basically, you're paying probably $10 million a year over each of the next 3 years instead of 30 plus. It makes it so that they're not going to have much of a payroll next year, the way things are going. And maybe that's by design. Maybe that's more attractive to new ownership than, a team that's got $145 million payroll that's under 500.
Michael Rand is with us from the Minnesota Star Tribune. So what, if I guess what surprises me most is the fact that the ownership situation is in flux. Mm-hmm. I am surprised. This is sort of an uncharacteristic Minnesota Twins move. So what, I guess, are you surprised that a front office that may be a lame duck front office essentially is taking this kind of a swing with a multi-year rebuild?
I am. Yeah, I don't know what this means for the future of Derek Falvey, if there's some sort of understanding in place that he's going to be the one, or this regime is going to be the one that is allowed to kind of try to build this up a second time. But that would be surprising to me, just because they're the ones that built this roster. They are the architects of what's been a pretty disappointing 5-year run, right? Like 21 through 25, they made the postseason once. You could say they were hamstrung with spending last season. I think that's true, but they've had a lot of disappointing turns along the way. So yeah, if they're being allowed to kind of conduct the fire sale, that is a little bit surprising to me.
All right, we'll see if any more names pop up. I mean, at this point, what the heck? But
the deadline's over, right? I mean, we can't do anything else. It's 5:00, right? So 5 o'clock.
I don't know
somewhere.
how hard are they on these rules? Is this like you're taking the ACT and they shut down your pencils down? How does this go?
I don't know.
If there's some paperwork floating through the system somewhere on Joe Ryan, who knows?
I don't know.
Joe Ryan, the
I don't know.
one. And how do you feel if you're Byron? You're like, now you come to work.
I know.
And you're like,
right? He's on the injured list. He's just like, what am I doing? Who's left?
Right.
Who's left? Like, what's the lineup going to be? What's the bullpen going to be when they come back to play tomorrow night? It's ridiculous. It's crazy.
I wish we had a game tonight. That's all I'm saying. I know Dan is
Me
like,
too.
Dan's Mr. Logical. Like, well, it'd be difficult to get I'm like, I just want the drama. Like, give me the drama of the look on the remaining guys' faces, right?
Yeah, I do too. I don't know. This is shocking though. This is like, I talked to Lavelle like 2 hours ago, and we were doing like a podcast, and like this is only like half the moves at that point, and he was already at a 10 for surprise levels. He's got to be at he's turned up to 11 now. Lavelle's turned up to 11.
Michael Rand will have more on this in the daily delivery podcast from the Star Tribune, and we appreciate it. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Jason. Take care.
All right, 5:22. We'll continue monitoring for new developments, but we'll do the DRUSH Hour News headline. The lead is over. Now we'll do page 2. I'm all aflutter because of all of this drama this afternoon. Page 2 coming your way next.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSHA on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Oh, I tell you, after this day, I feel like I need a full body skin checkup at Tureen Dermatology. It's Jason here for the experts when it comes to your skin, Tureen Dermatology. Nobody getting traded there. Dr. Mohiba Tureen has a world-class team of 25 board-certified providers. They're working hard at 9 different locations today, taking care of all different skin conditions, all different skin types, eczema, acne. Do you have a family history of skin cancer? I do. My dad has had a bunch of skin cancer, little growths removed. If you have a family history and have never had a full body skin checkup, get to TureenDermatology.com. Do it today. You can book your appointment online, and they will see you within 3 weeks. It is a peace of mind situation where you get that sort of baseline. Maybe you've had a mark or a mole or something that you've always sort of wondered, like, I don't know, is this all right? Go get it checked. Dr. Mohiba Tureen takes care of me in Roseville. But Tureen Dermatology has 9 locations. They are in Lakeville, brand new. They're in Eagan. They're in Hudson, Lindstrom, Farmington, all over the place. Check the locations and book the appointment online. Within 3 weeks, they'll see you. That is remarkable. Tureen, Tareen, dermatology.com.
Since 1991, Twins Community Fund has been changing lives across Twins territory. Anything is possible on this field. This is where magic happens. Something unexpected also happens here. Life, wrapped in the thrill of the game. This game teaches us how to swing for the fences, and how to strike out swinging with your head held high. We love this game. It's our legacy, powered by you. Get involved at twinscommunityfund.org.
Minnesota Twins Community Fund is supported in part by Cornerstone Partners, Target, U.S. Bank, Treasure Island Resort and Casino, Nike, and Uponor. We thank them for supporting youth baseball and softball throughout the upper Midwest. Get involved at twinscommunityfund.org.
Runnings is celebrating 78 years serving local communities as your home, farm, and outdoor store. Enjoy great savings across all departments on great brands like DeWalt, Noble Outfitters, Yellow Jacket, Harvest King, Heartland Harvest, Little Giant, Milwaukee Tool, and Wells Lamont. Register online to win a $780 Runnings gift card, too. Runnings is celebrating 78 years. Get in on the fun and savings at any of Runnings' 90 locations and online at Runnings.com. Runnings, your home, farm, and outdoor store.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-581-1414. That's 800-581-1414. 800-581-1414.
Jason DeRUSHA
I feel like I need to take some time off.
I think so too.
on News Talk 830 WCCO.
DRUSH Hour news headlines, and we start with the news on page 2 that Best Buy is building IKEA stores within their stores. Of course, when Best Buy built the first IKEA store, it took about 12 hours, and the people who were building it just about killed each other. It's so hard to read the instructions. You got to put the nubbin in here and put the other thing in there. First time ever that IKEA has teamed up with another retailer. So they'll have kitchen and laundry products inside mini showrooms at select Best Buy locations. Any in Minnesota? No, at least not yet. First 10 shops will launch in Florida, in Texas, and this will sort of be like the Ulta hubs that you see inside, like, you see those inside Target stores, right? And so we'll see what it looks like. But one of the nice things is that you'll be able to like ship your IKEA products there and pick them up at the Best Buy. So pretty interesting stuff as these 10 stores. We'll see if they end up coming here to Minnesota. Is your job at high risk of being vulnerable to AI?
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Kind of an interesting study that was done by Microsoft, trying to figure out which jobs are the most or least likely to be overtaken by artificial intelligence. And good news, if you are a dredge operator, or you work on a bridge as a lock tender. Bad news, as I check the list of the most vulnerable, broadcast announcers and radio DJs. What? Do you think artificial intelligence can replace the lack of intelligence that I bring to the air every day? Good luck. Good luck, supercomputer. Just try me. Okay? No chance. The number one most vulnerable, interpreters and translators. Number 2, historians. Is that a big career chunk? Man, a lot of historians out of work. They got writers and authors. Some of this cracks me up. Ticket agents, travel clerks, safe jobs. Dredge. What is a dredge operator? Do you know what a dredge is, Cook? Unclear. Water treatment plant operators, sure. Foundry, mold, and core makers. Rail track laying and maintenance equipment operators. Floor sanders. Now think about that, Dan. Think of how many floor sanders.
I'm not sure I buy that, though, because if we have little robots that can vacuum your carpet and cut your grass, you can have one that sands your floors, can't you?
According to AI, a dredge operator is a specialized heavy equipment operator, but that's what AI wants you to think, so I don't know. Yeah. On YouTube, Benjamin saying, "Hi there, DeRUSHA bot here for Duracell." That's exactly how it goes. Do you have in your yard the perfect Christmas tree?
I won't let all this commercialism ruin my Christmas. I'll take this little tree home and decorate it, and I'll show them it really will work in our play.
Pioneer Press, Molly Guthrie reporting that they're looking for a tree to put at Union Depot right in St. Paul. So they're looking for a 50 to 70-foot tree. It's got to be within Ramsey County, which I think is hilarious. Like, we're so provincial on the St. Paul side of the river that the tree you insist on, it better be one of our dang trees. It's got to be an evergreen tree. The tree must have overgrown its location or have other reasons for removal. So no bare spots, no missing branches. It's a donation, so they're not going to give you any money for it. But because it's an overgrown tree, they will remove it and grind its stump down for you, which I had a tree removed and a stump. That ain't cheap. So, like, if you really want to get rid of it, pretty good. So you can go to uniondepot.org to be a part of that. That is the DRUSH Hour News headlines. We are going to break. Another story that caught my attention today is a massage, and I love a massage. Do you want a massage from a robot masseuse? We'll talk about that. Something very innovative going on at a Lifetime in the Twin Cities. That's coming up next.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSHA on News Talk 830 WCCO. Call in.
Hello. Thanks for having me on.
Make your point.
You're talking at two sides of your mouth.
Be heard.
I didn't like it at all.
Thank you for talking about this issue.
You got to take.
That is the greatest American thing we can do for one another.
Don't just listen. Come on, jump in.
You can't always be fair. The people we have in charge, they can't make a decision. This isn't something funny, and it should not be posted on social media.
Your voice matters here. News Talk 830 WCCO.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. Many retailers use a computer program to tell you which mattress to buy after answering a few questions. That's not how finding the right mattress works. At OMF, our associates take the time to understand your specific needs. They'll guide you through our showroom, explain the differences between models, and help you select the right mattress. No computers, no gimmicks, just personal attention and quality mattresses built locally. Visit any showroom and experience the OMF difference for yourself.
Home title theft. It's on the rise, and it's devastating if it happens to you. Listen to the alarming words of an actual home title thief.
I don't need to know your date of birth and social security number. All I have to do is go to public records, create a document, and file that document. And then I can borrow against the house or sell the house. You may have no clue until you find out that your house has been sold or till several loans or several banks are foreclosing on you.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock puts a virtual barrier of protection around your home's title with 24/7 monitoring. The instant they detect any tampering, you'll get an alert, and that's bad news for home title thieves. So when's the last time you checked on the title to your home? Find out if you're already a victim with your free title scan and complete title report. $100 value free with sign up. Just go to HomeTitleLock.com and sign up in minutes. That's HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
We've got some fairly heavy levels of traffic traveling east 494 East Bush Lake Road to the Minnesota River Bridge, 169 northbound heavy between Highway 62 and Highway 55, 494 northbound slows between Rockford Road and the Fish Lake interchange, and you can find things a bit congested at 694 both directions between 35W and 252. Terry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Washburn-McCreevy Funeral Chapels and Cremation Services has been providing compassionate and personalized service for over 160 years. Honor your loved one and ensure your own wishes are met. Call 612-377-2203 or visit washburnmccreevy.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Washburn-McCreevy, great people. Washburn-McCreevy at the funeral, cremation, pre-planning services. Weather forecast brought to you by them, and we welcome in Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Can't really call it a blue sky because of the smoke in the air. That air quality alert still in effect until 5 p.m. on Saturday. Partly cloudy, cooling back to 58 tonight. A high of 80 tomorrow with a partly cloudy sky. We stay dry right through the weekend. Those highs should be right around 80, maybe some sprinkles next Monday.
Smoky, very smoky. It's 76 degrees. The air quality just getting worse as the day goes on here on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSHA. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
And again, the headline today, if you're just joining us, Carlos Correa gone. Louis Varland, hometown favorite. One of our favorites here at CCO. So we have a connection. Mom used to work here. Griffin Jacks, gone. So big changes, 10 players for the Twins gone. We'll keep updating you as we learn more. I want to talk about massages. I love a massage. My wife does not. She sort of doesn't love the idea of somebody's hands all in all of her business. And I wondered, I'm gonna talk to her about this tonight because I wonder if this would appeal to her. The headline in Axios: I tried a new AI-powered robot massage in Minnesota. This robot, which looks kind of creepy in the picture, is at Lifetime in Chanhassen. And my friends at Minnesota Monthly tried it as well. And so let's bring in the category director at Lifetime Fitness, Aaron Hickey, who's with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker hotline. Aaron runs the Life Spa. Aaron, it's good to visit with you.
Hi, hello. Thank you for having me.
All right. Tell me, first of all, does this feel as weird as it kind of looks, or does it feel like a normal massage?
You know, it is special in its own way. We have a
That's
lot
what
of,
I say about my misbehaving kids, Aaron. That doesn't sound very reassuring.
Yeah. And, guests just like your wife have hesitancy with massages, and this is kind of that perfect bridge into a massage.
Right.
This is an AI-powered robotic massage, and it's described as the world's most advanced massage. So it does use those two robotic arms, which are called air points, that deliver very highly customized body work based on that full body infrared scan. So our sessions range from 15 to 60 minutes. And it's all customizable at your fingertips during the entire session.
How did you guys decide, because, the Life Spa, you have massage therapists, you have, obviously you're a total fitness and wellness sort of operation at Lifetime. How did you decide, all right, let's give this a go?
Yeah. So we're so committed to recovery and wellness and the innovation within that category. We have some of the highest usage rates amongst our other recovery equipment, like our hydro massage beds. We saw that as a big opportunity for those wanting more. So this technology offers an accessible recovery tool that fits into our members' busy lives. It aligns with their high performance goals and complements existing spa services. So it's also helped overall, drive our spa business and engagement. So we've seen a lot of increased bookings with our traditional massage therapists since our launch in the spring.
How many of these do you have at Lifetime around the country?
So we have 2 in Chanhassen, and then we have 2 in Vegas, and we have 4 units in New York.
And what is the response been so far?
I mean, we've had great feedback. We have a lot of people, like I said, like your wife, who are super hesitant to massage. Either they don't want oil, they want to be in and out, they want to be able to return to work. A lot of people have reported falling asleep during their first session due to the warmth, because those air points are at 95 degrees. So they fall asleep due to that warmth, the pressure. There's music during your session that you get to pick. They love the customization. It's very intuitive controls when you're face down. You get to control everything.
Yeah, because I wondered about that. Like if it's, what if with a human massage therapist, if they hit a bad spot or push a little hard, you're like, ow. Does the robot sort of read that?
Yes. Yep. So it reads if you're pushing back on it. And based on that 3D body map and scan, that's how it figures out exactly where to go on your body and where you want it to go. So before your session, you get to pick your protocol. Let's say you had a leg day, you want to do glutes. Let's say you had a tough pickleball session, you can do our pickleball recovery. So you don't have to speak up. It's very intuitive with that.
The other advantage, as we talk with Aaron Hickey, the Life Spa category director at Lifetime, is that you don't have to take your clothes off, right? That's a big issue for a lot of people.
Yeah, so you actually change into, it's an escape outfit. It's called Airwear, and that's how the machine can glide over your body. Yeah. So
is there
it's
a special fabric, or they have sensors in it, or what?
Nope, it's just special fabric that kind of has a little bit of slip to it. It's super tight, so all it can do is just glide right over your body. So you don't have to, get oil on you. You don't have to have, any marks on your face.
I mean,
It's
I
very
like
in
the
and out.
oil.
Yeah,
I like the
well, there you
oil.
go.
I like the human touch, like I do like that, but my wife doesn't. So I get like where this would be appealing. The speed of it is kind of appealing too, right?
Yes. Yep. So like I said, we have 15-minute sessions up to 60 minutes. And the overall goal is not to replace human massage, but to offer a different complementary option. So we can't fully replicate intuition of, therapeutic massage therapists,
right.
But it can deliver more consistent, reliable pressure, effectively covering, more ground in less time.
It's kind of cool. The price is, what does it cost for like a half-hour massage?
Yep, so it's $2 per minute. So it's just right in line with our traditional massages. So we'll have to get you in out in Chanhassen.
Right. Yeah. Is the goal to have these at, like, I for sure would want to try it, right? Is the goal to have these in more of your clubs?
Absolutely. As we kind of lean into more of that wellness and recovery innovation, we'll look at expansion with that.
What part of it is AI? I mean, is it just the fact that it's like real time reading it, or what is the AI aspect of it?
Yep. So when you lay down for your first scan, the infrared sensors create a 3D model of your body, capturing over 1 million data points to guide those 2 heated robotic massage arms. And they replicate 7 massage techniques of a massage therapist, like the knuckle, the thumb, the palm, and the elbow. And so during that session, you can interact, with that screen, and you can skip over certain body parts. You can choose your music, and you also have real-time visuals of the massage in progress. So if you have an area that you don't want it to go to, that's how you can change that.
It's pretty interesting stuff. Got to be a member of Lifetime to be able to use it, I imagine.
You do not. No.
Oh, you
can
don't?
come in as a non-member. Absolutely.
Oh, all right. And people just book it online. Is that sort of how this goes?
Yep, absolutely. So you can book it online or in our app, and then you can come in for your session, and we have a wonderful team there in Chanhassen that can guide you through that experience.
Pretty cool. Pretty interesting stuff. I don't know. Robot massage. Why not? Why not?
Absolutely.
For people that it's another tool in the arsenal, for sure.
Yep.
Good stuff. Thanks for taking a little time to explain it to us. Erin Hickey, who runs
Absolutely.
the Life Spa at Lifetime. Thanks, Erin.
Thanks, Jason.
I don't know. Cook, would you let a robot touch you?
No, I'm good.
Like, I feel like a regular massage is a no for you, I would think.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you got against a little robot touch,
Well, I mean, how do you know the thing isn't going to go haywire on you and start, beating you up?
I mean, how do you know this microphone in front of you isn't going to go haywire?
Because it doesn't have AI. And it's not a robot.
That's what they want you to think. We can guarantee.
No, I think this actually is a pretty cool idea.
Well, especially from the recovery standpoint, right?
Yeah.
Like if you are working out and you get, it's leg day.
Yep.
What day is leg day? Tuesday?
Sure.
Thursday. To get that recovery, like, I don't know, it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
People are using like those Theraguns and stuff on
exactly.
themselves.
And you see a lot of people using those nowadays. And so, yeah, especially with all of obviously there's a ton of different exercise options at Lifetime, but if you can customize it to, here's where I usually get sore and here's when I usually get sore there, and have this thing know immediately where to go and what to do, boy, that sure sounds like a way to go.
Let's break. It is 5:44. The Twins' absolute fire sale is for sure the story of the day. And if you've got thoughts, I want to hear them. 651-461-9226. You can send us a message through the Odyssey app as well. If you're listening live on the Odyssey app, just click the microphone next to the Listen Live button. And your feedback about the Twins trading away Carlos Correa and 9 other players, 20%, 40% of their entire roster gone. Your feedback when we come back here on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSHA. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
You know those unsolicited cash offers you get for your home in the mail? Every homeowner's gotten one before. It's Vanita. They make selling your home a breeze, but the people who take those offers usually end up selling their homes for tens of thousands of dollars less than they could have. Don't do that. Contact my friend, John Schuster of the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty. He has your back. Tim and Lisa, we're in a situation where they took a cash offer, but the buyer wanted them to take a deal for $30,000 less than agreed to. They were fed up. They contacted the Schuster Group. John sold Tim and Lisa's home for $75,000 more than the cash offer company was willing to give. Don't leave money on the table. Contact the Schuster Group at 952-222-9000 online, johnschustergroup.com.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. JohnSchusterGroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
New month, new flavors. Jordana here for my friends at Mini Leaf. I'm talking about those Sleep Night gummies. I know you love them, and they even have a new and improved Sleep Night gummy. But here's a twist. They got some new flavors. So, better sleep and some yummy new flavors. Great grape, green apple, snooze, and mellow mango in the nighttime blend. And of course, everybody loves the peaceful pineapple. That still exists in those Sleep Night gummies. Better sleep is the way to a better you. Mini Leaf can make that happen. I give these out to friends all the time. I recommend them for anybody who's having sleep troubles. You guys know they help me get off my Ambien, really. These gummies help me get off a pharmaceutical. I hope they will do wonders for you. Here's how you get them. Minileaf.com. MINILEAF.com.
Mini Leaf means quality. Taste happy at minileaf.com.
The home of Minnesota's best legal products.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey there, cats and kittens. It's Brian from The Commercial Break, the mediocre comedy podcast where my best friend Chrissy and I attempt to make sense of the world. We talk about the absurd, the ridiculous, and the stuff no one asked for, like internet weirdos, pickup artists, and why everyone is obsessed with crystals and colonics. It's all got to stop. The show is free, it's frequent, and it's probably not for everyone. You can go to tcbpodcast.com, subscribe at youtube.com/The Commercial Break, or check out the show wherever you listen to podcasts. We'll see you on the next commercial break. And best to you.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by Lyuna, Minnesota. Visit buildthenorth.com. Got your slowdowns on 694 both directions right now between 252 and 35W. Eastbound 394, packed and stacked 100 into downtown. And Highway 212, a bit slow, and make way through the work zone between Highway 494 and Eden Prairie Road. Laguna, Minnesota reminds you to slow down when you see orange cones and yellow vests all year round. They're working to improve your infrastructure and build a better Minnesota for you. So please slow down, save lives, and keep construction workers safe. Brought to you by Laguna, Minnesota. Visit buildthenorth.com. Trey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Go online before you go outside. HilltopCamper.com has what you need. We're here for new and used. We're here for service. We're here for the outdoors. Above all, HilltopCamper.com is here to help you and your loved ones make memories. HilltopCamper.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Hilltop Camper and RV bringing us the forecast air quality alert until 5 p.m. on Saturday. Smoky skies, unhealthy air. It's been getting worse all afternoon as I've been watching. The air quality index at 162 tonight in downtown. 58's the low tomorrow. 80 Saturday, 80. Dry at least. No rain till Monday. It's 76 on CCO.
Broadcasting from the Flatabo Land Studios, this is News Talk 830 WCCO. If you're looking to buy or sell farmland, you need Flatabo Land. For the latest auctions, listings, appraisals, and consulting, visit flataboland.com.
It's the Minnesota Twins mid-season moving sale. That's right, folks. They're clearing out the clubhouse faster than a thunderstorm clears the fairgrounds. Lockdown closer, gone. Most versatile glove in the outfield. See you later. Other fan favorites, don't get comfortable. No offer refused. No prospect too obscure. If you've got an ERA below the blood alcohol limit along with a couple of vowels in your name, we'll take ya. It's chaos. It's confusion. It's kind of a rebuild, but somehow still competitive. So come on down to Target Field, the only place in town where the starting lineup needs a "Hi, my name is" sticker on their jersey. Wait, who's that guy again? The Minnesota Twins. Get to know them again. Now accepting trade proposals, moral support, and a couple decent middle relievers.
What a day. Unexpected, to say the least, to see 10 players dealt, the entire bullpen, for the most part, gone. Carlos Correa, which we thought would not happen. Correa with a no-trade clause in his contract and a big fat contract, which makes him unappealing for most teams. But Houston was the team that drafted him, and the owner of the Houston Ball Club had made no secret of the fact that he loves Carlos and would love to have him back. And so he made the deal. We did learn, Dan, not too long ago, how much money of the salary the Twins will have to pay to Houston, and it's $30 million.
It's about $30 million. So Houston's picking up about 2/3 of what's remaining on Carlos's contract.
The question now turns to what is the ownership future? We have a very unique situation where the head of baseball operations is also the head of business operations for the Twins. And Derek Falvey clearly making, are these business moves? Are these baseball moves? A little of both. I was
going to say yes is the answer to those questions.
Fans have to be honest with themselves that the team we had was not going to get it done. And so were we 2 moves away from being a stronger team? Were we, well, maybe when Ober comes back? No. So you're left with the choice to sell. And it hurts. And I think it's fair to say, how did we get to this point? But we were there, making these moves. There's none of these names that I look at and I'm like, poof, I'm out. That was an outrageous player to deal. I'm surprised they dealt some of the bullpen players that aren't getting paid a ton of money.
That's the only surprise to me. And I'm not saying it's the wrong move, but the fact that especially a Louis Varland who's not making any money at all. Relative obviously to the rest of the league.
But he was packaged with
Ty France to Toronto.
So maybe that was, I don't know. And we don't know how these prospects will be, but it is a reality. Whereas a Twins fan, you have to say all right, we're in a 2-year process at least now.
Yeah. There's no question about that at this point. This isn't a rebuild trying to be more competitive next year. This is a rebuild trying to be more competitive 2-3 years down the line.
Some reaction from the CCO talkback line where you can send us a message on the Odyssey app. You can do this anytime during the show. Here is a reaction to Carlos being traded.
Hey, Jason, Robert, listening to your show. Good stuff. Can I just say Correa was not the player that we signed, and that trading him away is going to benefit us way more this year than it normally would have if he had been a good player. So it's not really a sell-off. Yeah, we lost our closer. We lost a left fielder who is kind of good only because Larnach and Wallner aren't really playing up to their potential. And so he was a bright spot, but it's basically the same team, isn't it? Correa just isn't Correa anymore. And maybe Houston is betting on the fact that he plays good in the postseason most of the time, but he's not going to get us to the postseason if we were to hang on to him.
Now, Robert sent that in before
the rest of the bullpen
was traded.
Out, yeah.
I don't disagree with anything he's saying. Carlos has not played up to what we needed from him. He wasn't think of how much grief fans gave Joe Mauer for not playing up to his contract. Carlos was not paying up to $33 million.
I was saying Carlos's contract was bigger than Joe's.
So
yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, defensively, he was still rock solid and a great shortstop.
Incredible, yes.
But it certainly wasn't getting it done at the plate at the level that you would expect for the money that they were paying him. So to find somebody that's going to pick up 2/3 of that contract, and now you're going to let Brooks Lee play shortstop every day, I think that's a solid move by the Twins.
Jason says, a texter, I'm a little disappointed in some of these trades. I'm a longtime season ticket holder, even renting skyboxes for friends and family events. However, moving forward, if it appears it's going to be a few years before we can put a team on the field that'll be competitive, I think I'll just go back to single tickets for the games. Jason Bracco should be added to the list of those leaving. He's underperformed as our manager. It is interesting. You do think, like, with the prospect of this team being sold to new ownership, it does add a different dynamic of drama to this, where I'll be honest, I am very surprised that this management group, which has really been built around stability, that they would make that move, those large of moves. Jeff is from Sauk Rapids. Jeff, you're on CCO.
I was not only shocked, but as I got my my arms around it, I think it's a good thing. I've got a plan for this team. We've got the Twins they've got a renowned farm lake. Let's go down there and grab everybody that's got any promise.
Well, yeah, that's a good point, Jeff, where it's like, hey, if you're in AAA or AA, welcome to the show. You get a tryout. Let's see how they go. Crazy day. Steve Thompson's going to have thoughts. A lot of Twins fans furious. I get it. Stevie T will guide you through tonight. We'll be back with you on maybe just as busy of a show tomorrow.
Grown-ups, aren't Sundays more fun without